Hi, I'm Gary.
And I'm Kate.
And we like to play and we like to play Fall Guys.
We also like to chat with We also like to chat with We also like to chat with cool and interesting people.
So we thought, why not do balls? So we thought, why not do both at the same time? No. This is Talk Guys. Ultimate Chatting.
There we are.
Hello, we're back.
Hello.
Hello.
I was going to say season 2, episode 2.
Let's not get carried away.
We're not moving that fast
I'm sure this format will run and run, but right now we're lucky just to be in episode 2 of Talk Guys. I'm one of your hosts, Gary Whitta.
And I'm your other host, Kate Stark.
I feel like I'm the other host. You're the host. I'm just the other host.
I'm your host, Kate Stark.
The hostess with the mostess. How are you, Kate?
I'm doing well. I think I'm marginally recovered from last night.
There was a lot to recover from. A lot of drama.
Yeah, a lot of betrayal.
A lot of heartache. I know you and I almost
mend.
You and I almost had a falling out.
Yeah,
over the tail grab, the controversial tail grab that's lighting up the internet this morning.
I'm only here because of contractual obligations.
We had a great first episode last night. Of course, thanks from everyone here at Talk Guys to the wonderful Dr. Lupo, the fallen one himself, who led us to an incredible 10 wins in 13 games played. What a player! What a guy! What a human being!
I was there for moral support. But you know what actually made me feel really good is to know that I have more crowns than one of our guests today.
Oh my God.
The lead designer of Fall Guys.
Not just any guest.
Joe.
Hello,
hey.
Joe. Joe Walsh. How are you, sir?
That's me. Doing pretty good.
So the man that we should all be blaming right now for this cyclone that has come into our lives and has upended all of our video game lives. Joe Walsh, the lead designer of Fall Guys, the biggest game out there, the biggest hit of the moment, the pop culture revolution that's sweeping the nation. Joe Walsh is here with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Wow, that's an amazing intro. Thanks for having me.
And we're also, Kay, who else do we have with us today? We have another very special guest.
We also have the mastermind behind the Fall Guys social media account, Oliver, age 24. Not actually 24 years old, but Oliver is here as well.
Hello.
Mr. at Fall Guys Game himself, who's been causing all kinds of shenanigans on the social media.
These intros are very hyped. I like it.
That's what we do here.
You're the one tweeting out all the spicy memes.
We're gonna talk about that when we get into it. The concept here on Talk Guys is we play Fall Guys with cool and interesting people, and we try to interview them and talk to them at the same time. And obviously that's not easy to do because Fall Guys requires 110% of your attention. I've already got one question from the chat for Joe. Damian Marson 1 asks the question simply, Joe, why tail tag? I love questions.
just why?
Why Fall Guys? Why did you do this to us?
I like tail tag. I really love the way the tension builds towards the end. I totally get that some people are like, well, I could just stand around for a minute and grab the tail. And it's like, if that's the way you want to play the game, fine, go for it. But no one actually plays it that way anyway. And we found that the vast majority of people really do actually quite enjoy tail tag and that ratcheting up of tension towards the last second. So tail tag's fun.
As Kate learned last night to her great cost, yes, the last 5 seconds is all that
okay,
matters.
I want to point this out. We were on final round crown tail tag. Okay, royal fumble or whatever it's called. I held the tail I started with the tail. I held the tail for the entire match. Nobody took it from me even once. The last 5 seconds come up and Gary says to me, don't get ganked. It's the last 5 seconds that count.
It's not like I didn't warn you, Kate.
And then I fell in front of him. He takes it from me and wins immediately.
I mean, should we show the clip?
Wow.
I don't have it ready. I'm too upset.
I think I might have it.
Oh my God.
You got 10 seconds.
I think I might have it. Hold on. Let's.
That's not a true friend. How dare you?
Can I? Okay. Let's see if I can show the clip. I think I've got it here. I do. Let's roll this clip. I think Kate might have this.
Don't say that,
Don't
Gary.
get ganked in the last set. The last 3 seconds are all that matter in this game.
This
I
is
know.
it.
No, Gary, no!
Oh, Gary!
Can you believe
Can you believe
that
it?
Was right at the end.
It was the last second.
Last second.
Can you believe it?
I'm so mad at you. For my neighbors. Because I have never screamed at a video game so much in my life.
I gotta say, I gotta try and find Kate's. Hold on, let me find Kate's version of that, because seeing it from her side was so much more interesting. Hold on a second. I know I've got it in here somewhere.
I have it.
Do you have it?
I have it.
Hold on.
I did like seeing that you danced right after you did it as well.
Oh, but you should see the dance that Kate does. The dance of.
I've got it up on my stream. I've got it up on my stream.
Ridiculous.
This is pure devastation.
Okay, I'm gonna run it on mine as well, so that everyone can see this for themselves. Here we go. I'm running. This is what it looked like from Kate's angle, and it was not pleasant here. So that moment when you found that Peabody skin in your wardrobe, that was like a genuine surprise reaction that you were having.
I started laughing.
Even Lupo was stunned by what he saw here.
There's no way this is real. Oh, you got 10 seconds.
I think Kate might have this.
Don't say that, Gary.
Don't get ganked in the last set. The last 3 seconds are all that matter in this game.
I know.
This is it.
No, Gary, no!
Oh, can you believe it?
Oh my God!
Can you believe it?
Last second.
Can you believe it?
I'm so mad at you. Oh my God.
Look,
I'm devastated.
It's all part of the. Like Joe will tell you, it's all part of the game. This is the way the game's meant to be played. These are the moments that make Fall Guys Fall Guys.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. You know, now you have that special moment because Royal Fumble exists, and now you're more inspired to come back today and win those crowns.
To steal the crowns from Gary.
Did you ever start the squad stream, Kate? Because I'm not seeing an option to watch in squad mode yet.
It says you have not accepted your invitation.
Okay, let me go over here. Allow me to accept that. I have now accepted.
There you go. See?
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
Shall we get into the game?
I think we should play a little. I think that's what we're all here to do, right? Let me just switch over to squad mode. Kate, it looked like sorry, I hate to dwell on it. Well, I don't. I love it.
You love to dwell on it.
It looked like you were genuinely wanted to throw your controller there. Like that was a real fit
I
of
did,
peak.
And then I realized there is so much money on this desk as far as equipment and monitors and cameras and computers and peripherals that I physically could not throw my controller at anything without causing myself a lot of financial loss.
I'm glad that you found the self-control that was necessary there to prevent yourself from taking a heavy
You
loss.
see it in the clip. The controller is up.
Oh, it was.
And I am about to chuck it at my monitor. And I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
I saw the wheels turning. Yeah, you almost did it, and you pulled back at the last second, and I applaud your self-restraint. So before we jump in, Joe, you have 16 crowns in the game. Is that correct?
Yeah, about that. 16, I think.
And Oliver,
across PS4 and PC.
And Oliver, you're still chasing your first.
Yeah, I had thousands of crowns before we launched.
Of course you did.
Somehow, launching is just thrown it all out the window.
We're going to get you your first crown today.
Kate's up to 17. So right now, Kate does have the bragging rights of saying she has more crowns than the lead designer of Fall Guys. Let's see what happens today, though.
That's why I'm wearing my Fallen One skin.
Anything can happen. I'm switching over to the game screen right now. As you can see, we're all here. I'm Fall Guy 14. Let me just make sure that I've got this working here. Let me just go over here. There we go.
1478.
1478. I'm the tomato, I should say. Sorry to Joe and Oliver. I don't want to feel like I'm selling out my countrymen here. The tomato. Joe, lead designer, is Team Fortress Scout, Fall Guys 9857. Kate is Peabody 8136, and Oliver over there in the very delightful Unicorn Smoothie Combo 2905. Let's play some Fall Guys.
Get into it.
All right,
Oliver. I can't help but notice, but none of your costume pieces cost crowns. That's
interesting. Do you know what I also noticed? Is that my outfit cost 5 crowns a piece. 5 for the top, 5 for the bottom. That's 10 total. Interesting.
I think that's a bit showy, frankly. That whole thing. Like, look at me. It's like wearing a lot of bling. Like, oh, look at me. Look at what I can afford. I don't know. It's just
Here's
a bit ostentatious.
The thing. You don't have enough crowns to actually purchase it, so you wouldn't be saying that.
And that's why I feel that way about it. Yeah, I mean, you're quite right.
I know. It's okay.
So, since we have you here today, of course, as we're playing, I'm sure we'll want to pick your brains for some pro strats and some behind-the-scenes knowledge here. WHIRLYGIG is first up. Joe, how responsible are you for the madness that is WHIRLYGIG?
Oh yeah, not massively. Other than the name of it, I came up with the Whirlygig, and that's my claim to fame.
Okay.
Actually-
But no, Tony Pepper was the guy. So the same person who designed Seesaw is also the genius behind Whirlygig.
I think
Now-
Tony's going to be coming on the show actually.
Seesaw
Yes,
is
we
a
do.
wonderful level.
So from a development standpoint, when you've got a game that's broken down into these different, very specific kind of modular levels, does each round have its own lead designer, and then you kind of oversee all of it? Explain to me kind of how it works from a team perspective.
Yeah, sure. So generally we start and we have a bit of a brief as a team. So we say, like, we've made 10 rounds so far, but we don't have enough early rounds, which is what happened with Whirlygig. We needed more early game content to keep people interested right at the beginning, because if you just play Seesaw over and over again, you'll get bored, essentially.
Right. So every first round is essentially like a little bit of a gimme, right? Like not too difficult.
Yes. Yeah, we're not trying to... There shouldn't be like a barrier to entry in terms of skill that means you can never beat a round. I mean, like, Whirlygig is probably the hardest one in that, like, for some people, there are just jumps in Whirlygig that require a lot of movement. You've got to move the camera, you've got to jump, you've got to watch two things at once. And so Whirlygig, I'd say, is probably our hardest first round. But I mean, it's not too easy.
I would agree. I would agree with that. Oh shit! I just got yeeted.
I mean, I'm finished. I don't know where you guys are.
Oh wow.
That's an easy call right there.
I'm on it. Don't worry, I got it.
Oh no.
Is there anything surprised you at all about the way people? Because you see, obviously, when you finally deploy a game out into the wild, you start to see all this emergent player behavior that no amount of testing can predict. Is anything about this surprise? I know people have found a way to kind of get yeeted right over the finish line from that final circle there. Has anything surprised you in the way that people?
Yeah, I mean, all of the strategies around being hit forward by stuff, that was all totally unexpected.
Oh, really? So that wasn't intentional at all?
No, not at all. People were just supposed to jump over them and get knocked off into the sky. I don't think anybody we'd seen had managed to, especially towards the end when people get hit forwards and skip the last big Whirlygig.
Yeah,
that's been that was pretty amazing.
So when you
I saw one where someone
hit
one of the arrow billboards and bounced off of it onto the finish line. That was incredible.
Ooh,
so when you
nice.
see that kind of behavior, like people now figured out a spot where they can stand and get a nice little boost over the finish line, is that something you feel like you need to tweak or patch out or just leave it? Like what's your approach to that kind of discovery?
It slightly depends. So if it's something that is doesn't guarantee you a win and requires some sort of skill and mostly contains some level of risk reward, like you have to be taking some sort of risk to take this route. If it's just a done deal and it's too easy and it means that the level's kind of broken, then we will patch it. But the vast majority of them we don't touch. Right, Melon Cherry.
Who do we blame for this level, by the way?
That's Meg. She's the lead level designer.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about Perfect Match?
I don't mind Perfect Match. It's not a favorite, let's say. I don't mind
I have mixed feelings about it. I feel like you do need games like this just to kind of mix things up. It's like less of a kinetic game and more, you're exercising different muscles in your brain and stuff. I get it. And I think it's got a good meta. I think it's probably the least fun level for me overall, just in terms of like pure enjoyment.
I do really like seeing people get griefed off of it though, because they're not paying attention.
Oh yeah, and you see how Lupo griefed me last night? That was not cool.
It was.
Why isn't that the
very
story
cool.
today? Why is me grabbing your tail, Kate, which is a totally legitimate thing to do, considered unacceptable, but Lupo deliberately leading me onto the wrong tile, saying, "Hey Gary, over here," and then jumping off.
Listen.
Whatever.
Now I'm trying to focus and I totally forgot what I'm doing.
Yeah, this is not helping me. I have no idea what these fucking grapes are. Are they here?
I know.
Okay.
This is it. This is the one. Yeah.
Yes. So I do not know how you guys were talking and doing that. I have to concentrate
We're
hard.
professionals. That's the point of the show.
we play with a guy, our friend Adam, and when he plays, he's like, okay, grapes over here, bananas are over here. I'm like, will you shut the fuck up? I'm trying to do my own stuff over here.
Now here's
that shit in your head.
Yeah.
Here's a
I
quick
have to make a
question
rhyme.
You make a rhyme?
I have to be there going, great melon cherry, great melon cherry. Great
I do that, yeah. You get a little rhythm. Yeah.
Just a question about the fruit. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy between the tomato, the apple, the mango.
Yes.
What is it?
It's an apple. Confirmed.
It's an apple.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
You heard it here first.
I feel like you've answered that differently. Like
are we
every
hearing
time,
that? Are we hearing that here first, or has that already been? Has that been out there in the world somewhere? An official
I
statement
believe
on
the
that?
Fall Guys Twitter account has claimed that it is a tomato.
Yeah, I change it every time.
But the guy who runs the
Change
Fall
it
Guys
up.
Twitter account is just a shit stirrer. So
Absolutely, 100%.
you can't trust anything that guy says.
And follow-up question: bananas or plantains?
Banana. I would say it's definitely
Plantains.
banana.
Why would it be plantains? Plantains are
Interesting.
You
green.
said banana. They're not,
So
are
you
they?
guys
The
all took the
yellow?
slow route at the beginning, by the way.
Who was the lead on this level, Joe?
Joseph Jewson, aka Joseph JJ Jewson is his official title. And the brief for this one was make it hard.
Wow.
I love this level.
Mission accomplished. Did you also was part of the brief also include as many opportunities to grief people as possible?
Hold on, Joe is a Twinkie griefer.
What?
Joe is a Twinkie griefer.
What? He's griefing on the
Are
Twinkies?
you doing that?
I was
You're
just
a
stopped to
Twinkie
have a look.
griefer.
I just stopped to have a quick look at what people were
Oh
doing.
my goodness.
Oh my god.
We're learning a
Breather.
lot here about the minds behind Fall Guys.
I
a lot.
can't
You wait.
believe it.
You wait till we get to rollout. That's when my true colors will come
Oh,
through.
don't even
Oh,
start.
no.
Now, you said at the beginning of the level, you said, I see you took the slow route. What are you talking about, the slow route?
There are shortcuts.
Like not bouncing off the bumper and skipping the first corner.
Oh, I skipped the first corner. I just don't bounce off the bumper.
How do you skip the? How do you do it? Do you jump dive up the?
No, I just
the
jump
side.
up the
Easy
side. You don't
qual.
need to jump
that's
dive.
no. That's still the slow route. You got to
So
jump off the
interesting.
bumper and then you skip the entire.
First bumper?
Yeah, like right at the beginning, there's a bumper you can bounce off of.
Oh my
Oliver.
god, you're a finish line
I'll-
griefer too!
Oh my
No,
god! Look, the Fall Guys devs are finish line griefers. That's the headline.
This is
I cannot
toxic.
believe I cannot believe what I'm watching here. Look at Oliver.
Oliver!
Oliver's gone. Oh my god!
No.
Nearly got knocked out.
Oh my god, the
Ah,
save.
It was that wolf. The wolf did it.
It's not any of us.
Let me tell you something. Not all griefers are wolves, but all wolves are griefers.
That is
Oh
very
my
true.
god, this is so toxic already.
I
First
do,
a Twinkie griefer, now a finish line griefer? Joe, I thought more of you.
Slime climb brings out the worst in me.
It truly
it
does.
brings
You're
out the worst
speaking
in
to the guy
everybody.
that makes you press grab when you go for the crown.
Oh my god.
Design that specifically.
I do like slime climb. I think is one of the better designed levels. I think, like you said, it's really challenging. There's like different elements to it. Ooh, a big fall ball.
This is rare.
Gary loves fall ball.
I've said it before. I would have paid $20 just for fall ball. Like I would have.
I've
was
said
what-
that as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, full
I
team
agree.
fall ball. We didn't have this once last night when we were playing with Lupo.
Oh my god.
Who was the lead on
Come
fall ball,
on.
Joe?
That was JJ Jewson as well, the same guy who did
JJ.
slime climb.
Okay. And then
I think-
the brief
yeah.
on this one seems pretty straightforward. But is there anything we should know about what you wanted to do here?
So we played it a lot with one football for ages.
Okay.
And it just felt like there was something missing. Like it just felt a little too simple, like a little too boring and a little too straight. And people were kind of getting frustrated that there wasn't enough to do. There wasn't enough like chaos essentially.
Right.
And we had all these grand ideas about adding curved sides and ramps and spinners and hammers. And then I think someone was basically just like, why don't we just add a second football? And I'm like, oh.
Easy.
I'm
And
going
then
to grab the crash test dummy again. Oh,
So
nice
the-
teamwork.
Occasionally the golden egg will drop.
I've only
Yeah.
seen
There-
that once.
I've seen it happen a few times. Is there like a certain point threshold that needs to be held or needs to be reached before that drops, or is it just a completely random situation?
It's completely random. Sometimes it's a really low weighting, and just occasionally it'll just pop in. But it seems to have a habit of turning up when it's most needed.
I love that.
Yeah,
is cool.
when yellow team needs.
Oh,
Oh, right
and-
here!
oh my God!
Speaking of,
Joe,
oh my god!
You know, I
You
gotta
pressed a
believe
button
that
back
Joe
there.
pressed a button at
Yeah,
Fall
you did.
Guys HQ. He did
You
something.
must
I've
have.
actually been trying to spread a rumor
Cross
that the
it, cross
devs
it.
jump into the game.
That was
and, like,
insane.
spawn it.
That was
Oh
like magic. Can
my
you-
God.
I can't believe that's coincidence. Joe pressed some kind of button.
There's a big red
swear.
button at
He's
Fall
got
Guys
some
HQ.
kind of button. He's got a golden egg button. that he
Oh,
pressed.
look
And
at
we
that.
got it,
That's
too.
game
Oh
over.
my
Game
God.
over.
Sorry, yellow. Can't spell yellow without two L's.
I gotta go back and watch the clip. But he literally said the golden egg shows up right when it's needed, and it showed up at exactly that moment.
That was beautiful.
That was nutty.
It's completely random, he says.
Right, I'll grab the crash test dummy. Someone get the header in the middle. Where are you guys? Come on. Oh,
So
playing
this,
with
I mean,
amateurs.
I mean, from a design point of
carrying
view, this is a level that feels like it's fully mature. Like, like, is there anything you want to continue to tweak, or like, how would you consider to evolve this, or is it, or like in its final form right now?
So a big thing with Fall Guys that we really want is the pillar for Fall Guys is really that every time you fire up the game, you should have a different experience each time, and we try and achieve as much of that as we can with new rounds, like the fact that it tries to put a different string of rounds together each time you play, right?
Right.
But what we want to do is to make it that, kind of like the golden egg in Fall Ball. We want every single level to have its own golden egg. There should be things that rarely ever happen on all of the levels, and that's kind of always been the dream for Fall Guys. So one of the things we're looking at now is fun ways to mix up levels that you think you have down. Like, oh great, you played Whirlygig 50 times and you think you know your route. Not anymore. Now there's something new in the level. Now there's something that's going to make you concentrate all over again, and that is something we can build on and customize for ages once the game's out.
Showdown.
Just when players think they've got it down, you throw them a new curveball, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Oliver, this is your time to get your first crown.
I've never played this
is where Kate won her first crown.
This is when I never played my first crown.
I've never played it as a final.
If I'm right in knowing my Fall Guys history, this was a popular level in the beta, but it didn't initially ship, and then you patched it in, right? You put it in like halfway through.
Yeah, correct.
So what was the thinking behind that?
Have we said that?
I love the developer laugh.
Do you want the official line or the unofficial line?
No, we want the real line.
We want the real dope. Come on, don't give us a press release.
Oh God, sorry, I'm jumping.
This is Talk Guys.
We forgot to add it.
You forgot
You
to
just
add
forgot?
it?
Yeah, we didn't know it wasn't there because it's like random, so we just thought it's not showing up.
Oh, we're in trouble over here. We're stranded on this
we're
one
done.
side. Yeah,
We're done.
I'm still okay.
We're done.
Wait, Oliver, you're still in?
Yeah.
We're both still in.
Joe,
now we got to root for Oliver. Come on.
Oh no, Joe.
Oliver and Joe are still in.
Oh no.
That was Joe.
All right.
No, it wasn't. Rubbish.
Oh,
all right, Joe.
I had nothing to do with that.
We're looking for Joe now, right? Okay.
Yeah, we'll scout.
God, literally.
Come on, Joe.
You got this. Oof.
This is tense.
Just went for the French fry grief as well.
Gotta try and throw him off.
Yeah, I can see him throwing some elbows.
Trying to.
Oh, no.
Not good. Not good. Not good. Oh, you're still in it.
3 left. Oh my God, that was so close.
What is? I think we're seeing desync because I'm seeing your jump way late.
Yeah, it's looking to me like he should be getting knocked off.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
making it. Or
yeah,
Joe,
no.
or Joe's
I'm healthily.
Joe's
Or you're a
pressing more.
hacker.
Yeah, he's pressing more magic buttons on his end.
Yeah.
Pressing the window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
I'm gonna go
People
with
People
high
keep
pay.
sending clips of this, but it's just like server stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of desync here.
It's like last night I watched Lupo jump onto a tile in Hexagon that didn't exist, but it just hadn't rendered on my end, but it was
looked
there
like
on
he
his.
jumped in midair, basically.
Did you
accuse him
of cheating?
Maybe that's just Lupo being Lupo.
Could be.
Come on, let's start this game with this
Oh my God.
session with a
Oh
crown.
my
That
God.
was a close one. Come on.
These other two will just not go away.
I know. Oh, that was lucky. Oh, no!
I think the goddamn wolf got it.
The wolf got it.
All right, that's
I went
okay.
for the grab.
First game.
I went for the grab.
First game.
That
So
was my fault.
you literally forgot to add it into the game.
This game's very complicated, Gary. That's the thing you have to take away from this. Is that it's a lot that there's a lot that we remember to add. We remembered to add 24 levels to the game, and
But you forgot that 25th?
one of them, yeah, that 25th one's a doozy.
Oh, goodness. How did you react when you realized? Did somebody tell you? Did you realize on your own?
Yeah, is
What
it like you
happened?
left? We left the gas on. Shit. You know.
I think it's like gradual, right? We just saw that nobody was playing the level or something.
You're like,
Yeah,
oh.
it's pretty much. We started seeing requests of people going, "Oh, I played this in the beta and it's not there." But obviously, the amount of people who played in the beta compared to the amount of people who played the game at launch is actually really small. So it took quite a while for that information to like spread through the community of like, "Oh, I thought this other level existed," and then we went and checked the game files and it was I think Jinx was in there twice instead.
That
interesting.
explains why we saw it quite a bit and then suddenly it dropped off a little.
Yes, probably would actually.
Yeah.
And
But,
then the other.
you know,
Wow.
that stays between us four.
Yeah,
know,
of course.
Oh, yeah,
There's no one. There's no one
There's no one
listening, don't worry.
watching. It's not being clipped. It's not going to go on YouTube. It's totally fine.
And then I guess the other thing that happened when you patched it back in was you also reduced the frequency at which tail tag will pop as a final round or royal fumble,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, we did.
And was that just a response to the fact that people were just bitching and moaning about it? Like, how much are you taking your cues from what are you seeing from the community in terms of the moves that you're making with those kind of decisions?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was one where we'd seen a very, very vocal frustration to the latency of the grab. Sometimes it feels like other people have got spaghetti arms, and we know, like, we see it too. Yeah, we see it too, and we agree that it's frustrating. And we felt like a good middle ground was to basically lower the weighting of it appearing in the final round, just so people weren't having to deal with that potential latency quite as much. And we think it struck a good middle ground. Like, I still think it's a fun level, and I still think it's not too bad, but it just felt like it was probably appearing a little too much for people who were getting frustrated by it. But I'm on the Reddit every single day. Ollie's always on the Twitter and the Discord and stuff, so we're always reading feedback, like, constantly.
That's very brave of you.
To like patch notes for mostly things people had asked us for, which was good.
So, Joe, take us back to the beginning. There was a fascinating thread on Twitter recently where someone on Mediatonic did like a really long thread about the genesis of the game and the original pitch deck and the proposal. But like, take us back to the very origins of this. Like, how did Fall Guys come into the universe?
Yeah, so we were kind of just discussing game ideas, and we were trying to think of interesting multiplayer experiences that were something a little bit different from your standard like PvP experience, and we liked the idea of people working together and then turning on each other at the end in some form. And we started just talking about, like, different systems these people could be up against and different ways they could be whittled down. And then I literally just remembered that Takeshi's Castle existed, or MXC I think it's called in America.
Right.
Wonderful
and
show.
It was just, yeah, it's amazing, and just full of so much joy and laughter and just ridiculousness. And there's just, I've always wanted to go on one of those game shows. I've always wanted to. Oh no!
You've been eliminated.
Are you out?
I got hit by one of the giant boulders, and it like knocked me down into the level. That's never happened before.
It'll happen.
Never happened.
I swear this never happened. I'm stuck. I'm so far back.
Joe, I know.
Oh no, it was a hot dog.
Joe, I know
Just
you're a fellow.
stood on the
You're a
yellow
fellow Brit, and Mediatonic's a Brit company. But oh god,
Yes.
I'm dead. But I don't know if you're old enough to remember as I am. It's a knockout, because that's kind of the reference point that I always make when I talk about this game.
Yeah, totally.
Is there any
Especially the costumes.
DNA? Yeah.
Yeah, the costumes, like those really stupid, floppy, giant, oversized things, was one of the initial like reference points for what the Fall Guys were going to be. Like, they had to be as funny and as wobbly as possible,
right?
Essentially, and so that was something we went and looked at.
And the game was originally called Stumble Chums. Is that correct?
It was called, the very first name was Fool's Gauntlet. Which is the initial pitch.
Interesting.
Oh, which has the same initials, interestingly.
Yeah, weirdly. And then it was Stumble Chums was one of the name ideas that got thrown around. There was a whole bunch of others as well. I quite liked Full Beans. Like, the phrase to give something full beans, to really go for it.
Right.
I quite like that one. But none of them were really that good.
Stumble Chums, I think, is quite cute. However, from a marketing standpoint, I think Fall Guys hits the mark a bit better.
Yeah. The only problem was when we were marketing the game in the US, and people kept being like, 4 guys. Like, why is it called 4 guys? And I was like, but there's 60 players, and I was like, no, Fall Guys.
Fall.
4. So
especially since Five Guys is a popular burger chain. You don't want people to think like you're selling inferior burgers. Like, there's only 4 guys making these burgers, not 5.
Oliver is just the
worst.
Oh my god.
Got him.
Oliver. No wonder he doesn't have a crown. He's too busy griefing other people.
Listen.
Did that flower not go through? Oh no, he made it.
Who's still left?
All of us.
Well, not me. I'm gone.
Oh, well.
I'm still in.
I fell into the slime. I got caught by the slime. I'll spectate you guys. So Joe, I'm trying to figure out like the timeline of it. Was the battle royale concept already a thing when you started dreaming this up, or did that come? Was that kind of a coincidence?
Showdown
yeah.
again.
So, well, I mean, like, so Fortnite was getting huge, and PUBG was already massive.
Right.
And the idea of whittling people down to 1 like they do in Takeshi's Castle just seemed like such a perfect fit.
Right.
But we were worried, we didn't know if Battle Royale was going to be a flash in the pan that was gone, before the game had even released. Like, we really had no idea that it would become this staple of, like the gaming environment like it has done now.
So when
it
did
was
this,
a bit of a punt.
when did this concept start? Like, when were the baby plans made for this?
I sent the pitch to my boss Jeff for January 2018.
Oh, that's pretty quick in game development.
Yeah, I mean it's
Oh, no!
crazy.
Oh,
It
you're
is
done,
absolutely
Kate.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
All right,
Oliver, it's up
I'm
to
gonna
you.
follow
2
Joe.
final rounds on the
No,
bounce, mate.
no.
So January 2018.
Yes, yeah. And then we started work about October-ish, 2018. So there's a bit of a gap while we found a publisher and found some people to help make it.
Was this game an easy sell? Was there any skepticism?
I have to be honest, it's the easiest sell we've ever done as a company. Like
I feel
from
like
day
Devolver,
one.
this is right up Devolver's
It's a
street.
very Devolver game.
Yeah,
I think I've heard you say before though that there were some other publishers that we sort of tried to sell it to, but didn't work out.
I'm sure they're pissed
yeah,
now.
we shopped the game around to quite a lot of people, and we had a couple of people who were interested in making the game. A lot of people, the budget was like frankly too big for. I mean, it's a big, complicated game, and it was an expensive game to make, and it was a big risk for Devolver. To be honest, you know, like it's on a much larger scale of complexity than the things they usually make. So,
But here's what I want to know. So is there someone out there right now, another big publisher, who's absolutely kicking themselves right now because they turned this game down?
almost certainly yes, but I'm not telling you who it would be.
I don't even know who it is.
And so I guess that leads me to my next big question, which is like, did you? I mean, to what extent did you guys feel like you really had something special, like right up until the moment to launch? Because it's blown up now, and it's clearly become this phenomenal success.
Yeah.
Like, and I get the feeling that you must have known that you had something, but I don't know. Did you know that you had what you have now?
I mean, like I've always been quietly confident that this game could be big. I didn't think it would be this big. Like, this is silly now. Like, this is on a level. Like watching the game.
It's gone. It's just Joe.
Oliver.
Joe.
No, that's not me. That's not me.
It's not.
Oh,
That's
that's-
different scout.
No. We're all out now.
Oh, we're all
Well,
out. Oh,
I
then fuck these guys.
Then never mind.
Okay, yeah. I thought that
I
was
was
Joe. I
so
thought Joe was the
excited.
only scout. I was watching some
Me
other
too.
guy.
I haven't got enough crowns for the scout bottom, so I can only get the top.
Oh.
So Joe, you were saying you were quietly confident.
I mean, not confident, but I was. I've been really excited about this idea from the get-go, and it's a game I wanted to play as well as wanted to make, and I've always been really excited about it. But I remember the first time we played a proper multiplayer game. I think we played about 30 people.
Right.
You know, the really, really basic version, the first online game, and we played DoorDash, like a really basic version of DoorDash. And I think we played it, and I was sat next to Jeff, our creative director, and we both kind of looked at each other and be like, shit, this is fucking good. Like, this could really go somewhere. I think, and that moment I remember being a big moment. And then I think with the first time we took it to a trade show as well, like when we had a really janky, held together with tape and string build that we took to E3 to sit down with the press and had everybody just coming back constantly. We were like staying open like late until the night, having developers come by and play and keep coming back. And that was probably the other moment as well where we realized that we had something potentially really exciting on our hands.
But the degree to which it has blown up now, where it's one of these very few games that has like totally crossed over into like mainstream, like everyone's playing it, everyone's talking about it. Like regardless, like how much you may have anticipated that or been surprised by it, it must be so gratifying to see how much the degree to which people have embraced this game.
It's just really surreal. It's hard to kind of understand just how big it's gotten.
But with that, do you feel like you're playing a lot of catch up with, you didn't expect it to get this big, but now you have all these feature requests and you've got people asking for quality of life updates and they're expecting a lot right away.
Do you feel like did you feel like you're rushing to catch up with the success of the game at this point?
I think we're lucky enough that almost the worst version of launch would have been if we had almost a successful game and we just needed to add all of this stuff really quickly and rush things out to try and capture people's attention. That would have been.
I'm not going to qualify. Fuck!
Come on.
Fuck!
You got this.
Fuck this game! Fuck this! I'm not going to qualify on DoorDash.
You're way back.
Fuck this game.
This game's awesome.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Put this on the box. This is the first game of the year that can also go fuck itself.
That's a good quote.
So do you feel like you're, prepared to, like, are you having to expand the team in order to keep up with all the demands for stuff? Or are you still going to stay a fairly small studio? What do you have planned?
We're definitely going to expand, but for us, a really important thing is that we don't overwork the team. Like we're working up to the 0 hour to get this game out the door, and the team are, to be frank, pretty knackered from not only finishing the game, but then witnessing this thing take off. Like it is a pretty full-on thing where you can't take your eyes away from it from 2 seconds because you're worried that something will fall over or you'll miss something. And so
that's the thing.
It's really important for us to we keep everybody healthy and we keep the team happy.
And I think that's really important. Thank you for doing that.
Seriously, that's the thing with these online games. Like shipping it is that's not the end; it's the beginning.
Yeah, totally. It's a whole different ball game.
Right, I'm watching Kate and see how she can do.
Oh my god! Also, you went from launching the game to teasing yesterday at opening night live, the season 2.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, every time Jeff Keighley was like, but we've got coming up, Fall Guys, season 2, it was a wave of terror ran over me. It's just this is too much hype.
I feel that way every time I see Jeff Keighley as well.
For a lot of people, I think that's, why they were watching the show, is they wanted to see what's going on. And season 2 looks fantastic. I know that a question for a lot of folks is, are you thinking with the next seasons, are you going to kind of do themed packs? So like themed skins, themed levels. Are you going to maybe have like a space theme after that, or a, whatever else?
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
themed seasons seems like a cool concept, right?
Grape, apple grape.
Up. This is the worst level to try and chat with. Go with the flow, go with the crowd.
Oh
my god!
That poor little astronaut. Oh my god, everyone's on that one.
Okay, good.
It's a good job somebody paid attention.
Oh, that was the last one. Yes, I think the plan is like themed seasons. We have so many ideas for really fun seasons we can do. There's just so much potential to draw from, like so many crazy game shows that we loved that were set in different places and things like that.
Remember the Crystal Maze? Like they
exactly.
Oh, Crystal Maze is great.
Yeah,
Crystal Maze was fantastic.
So for season 2, now we saw that medieval level and some medieval costumes. Does that mean that all of season 2 will be medieval themed, or that there'll be medieval rounds within it,
like peppered into our normal rounds?
So yeah, we're gonna basically be adding the medieval rounds to our current roster of rounds.
Got it.
And then the idea is that we leave them in, so you'll always have those rounds. But come season 3, season 4, season 5, all of those things will be added in. I think the dream for Fall Guys is that one day we have 100 rounds, and you can never know what you're going to get, and it's just like you might go for weeks without seeing a round, for example.
So I was going to ask that actually, is with the implementation of the medieval rounds, have you thought about maybe pulling some current ones out and then adding them back in later? But it sounds like you just want to keep all of them in and keep building on them every season.
Guys. Yes, exactly. I think it's exciting to think like, how could we take the medieval things and add interesting bits to our existing rounds and mix them up and give other rounds medieval spins and things like that? But yeah, so, I think really the focus is on adding as much content as we can.
Okay,
nice work, guys. Nice work.
Would you consider?
Sorry, go ahead, Kate.
I was just saying, would you consider reskinning some of the current levels to fit in with the medieval theme, or would you just leave them as is?
I think we're going to do some stuff like that. Like some of the levels that you can see in the trailer are like new takes on existing levels, for example. But I think it'd be really interesting to just add like a little bit of medieval to some of the existing levels. I think would be really fun.
Have you spoken yet about how many new game types will come with a season?
We haven't yet. No, we're keeping that one under wraps for a while, and we're still figuring it out. To be honest, we've got a couple which are coming thick and fast. It's still.
But it's not like you're always going to be capped at a certain number of rounds per season, and you'll swap some out to make room for new ones. What you're saying is you'll be adding to the roster's going to grow. There'll be more levels.
Yeah, the idea is to really grow the roster for sure.
Unless
we just won as yellow.
Forget.
Team, by the way.
Easy.
Where did the yellow team meme start? Because it seems like that's kind of just everyone's latched right onto that, right?
In the diseased brain of Oliver.
I just saw people start tweeting about it, so I just joined in as well. Like, it's completely random and there's no actual.
That's what I love about it. But, but do you feel like it has actually led to people beating up on Yellow Team in the game?
Joe's griefing me. Joe's griefing me.
It's not griefing. It's grabbing.
He is. He's chasing you around.
All griefers are grabbers, but not all grabbers are griefers.
I feel like it has led to abuse of the Yellow Team in certain team games.
But if you remember, it was the same way with Pokemon Go. It was the same. It was the same thing. Mystic Team, whatever, Yellow Team. People dunked on them all the time. So it seems like an ongoing thing in video games.
Yeah, maybe there's a psychological thing there.
Maybe.
Oh God!
I know. You have that tweet out. You have that tweet about if it hits 1 million retweets, you'll delete Yellow Team. Have you thought about replacing it with Purple Team?
I'd quite like that. I think that's what we should do.
For Twitch, it's a better color. It's blue and red combined. There's a whole list of reasons why it should be purple.
I have a question from the chat from Inspector Toast. He asks, or she asks, or they ask, Oliver, do you have any advice for aspiring community managers?
Well, we've got a job going, so definitely.
Become the Fall Guys. Yeah, go apply.
I think going strong with Fall Guys because it's obviously.
You've already been a bit salty about that though, even on Twitter, saying like a bunch of these applications are crap, basically.
Yeah, I would say a few people have not put too much effort into their applications.
Oh no! Oh my God, Kate, you're so lucky!
Oh my God, I'm such a gamer!
So lucky!
Oh my God!
Fluke!
I'm so.
How many people fell off there? That felt like a lot of people.
Brutal.
Yeah,
everyone.
So all the surviving team members, all three of you are still in, right?
Yeah, still in. Yeah.
Jesus Christ! That was an easy qual.
Oliver, how did you get into the community management social media game? What's your origin story?
So I started out as a YouTuber, and then I saw a job advertised at a game studio to do the same things I was doing on YouTube, but for a games company. That was like 7 years ago now, to work for Bossa Studios, who did Surgeon Simulator, and I was there for like 6 years. And then I saw Fall Guys, and I really wanted to work on that. So I applied for this job to specifically work on Fall Guys. I was fortunate enough I got the job.
So explain to us what has been the secret sauce behind the success of the community and the social and the Twitter aspect of Fall Guys, because it has like more. I know every game has a community manager. They always have forums and social media and Twitter accounts and stuff. But this is the first time that I've seen the social media aspects of the game really feel like it's an integral part of the game and seems really to have contributed to its success. Like you've done, whether it be Yellow Team or the feud with Tim the Tatman or the charity skin thing. It's just been like one social media win after another. Are you a genius or are you just lucky? Like what's the story behind the success of the Fall Guys social?
And maybe
I'd like to think it was a bit of both. Yeah.
Little column A, little column B.
Yeah, I think like if there's a few things that I think have worked really well. So one is like tweeting in first person and just trying to make it like super personal. Mm-hmm. I think a few like fast food companies have done really well with that, like Wendy's.
Right.
Yeah, and I think I haven't really seen that much in video games. I feel like video games are usually like really far ahead in like technology terms and stuff. Whereas social media, I think we've fallen behind a little bit. So I want to try and copy kind of what was working with them for video games.
Who's left? Do we have anyone left?
No.
All right. No crowns yet.
Here's the thing. It feels so much better to not win crowns when it's not Dr. Lupo winning every single round.
I know, but it's nice to get team wins. This is what happens when you don't have a pro player, the fallen one himself.
He did, by the way, during the show, he hit his 100th win.
He did.
Oh my God.
He did. So this is another thing. Lupo last night was a little bit skeptical about whether or not he really, really was the statistically best player in the game, or if you were just being nice to him. How did you decide that Dr. Lupo was the fallen one?
It was a really complex formula we used. It went into all the different statistics possible, and he was the top every time.
So it's complete bullshit, huh?
No, not at all. It's 0% bullshit.
All right. I've got no reason to disbelieve him. Lupo actually showed us some really interesting stats that someone had compiled on his win-loss ratios and what rounds and stuff he was strongest and weakest at, just based on watching him. It was really interesting to see some of that stuff.
Showdown was his worst final.
Yes, it was.
13% win rate.
That was an interesting discussion that we had last night. I'd be interested to ask you two about it. I've been saying it would be cool if the game did keep and display more detailed stats, but then I've heard another argument saying no, like Lupo was saying, no, don't do that. Like, don't let people like get too serious about the stats. Like, this is a goofy game. Let it be that. Don't let people take it too seriously, and stats will allow them to do that. What's your take on that? Do you think stats have a place in this game?
I guess like one part of it is we are tracking some of that stuff, so it's just a case of like, are we going to make it visible to players?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we know the game tracks everything
because
because that's because you know how to like dole out achievements, right? But you know,
I'm on the boat of don't tell anyone.
Yeah, but I mean, right now there isn't even a way to know how many crowns you have, right? You have to keep track of that yourself.
Yeah.
I think keeping a crown count might be nice, but just like keeping stats makes it way too aggressively competitive when it's already pretty competitive.
Yeah, my feeling is that cumulative stuff is great. Like knowing how many crowns you've won over the course of a season, or how many full mountains you've managed to win. Like, I'm totally here for that, but I'm not so interested in stats like your win-loss ratio on every single individual level.
Right.
You know, one thing we've been talking a little bit about, and this is very early, is like maybe we have an API, right, that we can hook up to, and if you want to go on fullguysgamerstats.com and you can go and look at all your percentages there, we surface that information for people, but
interesting.
It's probably not a focus for us in terms of the game, but we are looking at ways to reward people who have won lots and lots and lots, because we think we can go above and beyond the five crown costumes that we have in the game right now.
Speaking of the kind of sorry, Oliver, go ahead.
I was just going to say that like the competitive thing is something that we didn't really anticipate, that people would take it quite as seriously as they do, because we were always sort of like about the fun side of it.
It's an interesting. Go ahead, Kate.
Oh, just speaking of that, it's because of how serious people are taking it. Do you anticipate, and how do you feel about potential esports teams and more serious competitions than perhaps Twitch Rivals, but like an actual like esports circuit of this? Yeah, do you think that's possible?
Yeah, is the Staples Center like $1 million super duper final? You know, is that something that is going to be in Fall Guys' future? Do you think?
I'm not really sure where it'll go, but like we have been speaking to a lot of different esports companies and stuff, and we're putting together sort of like a bunch of kind of guidelines on running your own events, so people can kind of do what they like with it.
Apples and oranges.
Tomatoes and clementines.
No, it's an apple. You've just heard it. I've always known it was an apple. All right, I'm staying right here.
Mango.
I mean, what I love about this game, and I've said it many, many times, is, you know, this is clearly a game that has a lot of skill involved. You can get good at this game, but no matter how good you get, there is always going to be that 10% what the fuck factor that you cannot mitigate, which I love. That's to me, that's the key to it. God, and while I was bloviating there, I did not pay attention at all.
That was cherry.
That's why I went very quiet there.
I'm on the fallback follow guys strategy right now. Where's everyone else going?
All right.
It worked this time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quiet for a sec. I'm not talking, guys.
Grape apple.
Stop it! Stop.
Watermelon, orange, cherry.
Oh my God, you're not helping.
Grape.
Okay, I think I know where it is. Okay, I'm good. Do
not
knock me over.
Everyone's
Everyone's there.
Qual.
All right. That's why we talked about this last night, as well as like, I think another reason for the success of the game is not just a fun game to play, it's really a fun game to stream and to watch. Like, the reactions that this game brings out of people. I mean, we all saw what happened with the Tap Man, but I subscribe to some of these YouTube clip compilations now, like people just raging. Oh my God. Like, and we were talking like Shroud started playing it, and Shroud is like the most composed elite level player in the streaming game. And he was if you can make Shroud rage, you've done something.
I was watching him play his first ever round, and it was within the same breath he said, why are people grabbing me? Go play your own game. And the very next sentence was, come here, you piece of shit, let me grab you. And I just thought that immediate flip was like the perfect Fall Guys sentence. Like, this is it.
Tell us
yeah, it's really interesting, right? Because like the kind of things you're bringing up, it's very satisfying for the design team to hear these sorts of things, because two of the big things that we focused on were, we had these design pillars set out for every single level that they had to achieve. So kind of coming back to what we were talking about earlier about like how do we design a level, we have this like 5 commandments of a great Fall Guys level that we have to hit.
What are the 5
commandments? The first one was like it's like 80% skill, 20% chaos. Like sometimes things aren't going to go your way. Right. And that's fine, but also things can't be completely random. You have to have agency in your your Fall Guys destiny, as it were.
First place over the line, thank you very much.
Nicely done. And then the second one is
100% random.
But then the second one really is like it has to have the ability to create 1 in a million moments for it to be a great Fall Guys level.
Absolutely.
Like on Perfect Match, it's that one where you manage to win on Perfect Match and everybody else guesses wrong and you guess right. On Fruit Shoot, it's like emoting at the finish line and then being hit by the log and going all the way back to the beginning. Like those moments are things that we worked really, really hard to make sure that the game could generate.
Right.
And that ethos has to permeate the entire game on like a really fundamental level for it to work. Like everything from the way the character falls over to the way the physics interacts to the way like the rounds themselves are built and designed is all channeling this ability to create like highlight clips, essentially, because we're making a game show, and the classic bit of Takeshi's Castle is the Craig's magic replay at the end where he picks his famous moment and you watch it back in excruciating slow motion. And if the game can't generate those clips, then it's not doing what it needs to do.
And so that's one of the things I wanted to touch on is you just said we're watching a game show. I want to talk about the mythology, the lore, the whatever behind where this is happening, who these jelly beans are, why they're 6 feet tall.
Just be advised, this is a big issue for Kate, and she's going to take you down a very disturbing rabbit hole right now. Double goal.
Yeah,
Kate,
I haven't.
Kate has strong feelings about the mythology of this game.
I was fine until I found out that they were 6 feet tall, and then I have not stopped thinking about that. Because if they're 6 feet tall, how big is this ball? How big are the apples on Fruit Shoot? It's all devastating.
I've said before it doesn't matter because this obviously is not Earth, it's another world. So what difference does it matter if they're 6 inches or 6 foot? It's all relative.
What if it is Earth?
Well, I tell you the tweet that got me, and I think this is the best tweet in Oliver's career, was when there was a reference to the faceplate. Oh my god. Oliver someone is pressing a button. Someone is pressing a button at Fall Guys HQ.
I swear, I can't even do that, even if I wanted to. That's not physically possible. I'm going to grab this guy. Get another goal.
We got it. That's tipped over.
Oh my god.
Oh my god,
12 Oh
my god.
My favorite
grabbing is so underrated in Fall Ball.
My favorite tweet is when there was a reference to the different faceplates, and somebody tweeted at Fall Guys, "Wait, so if you say faceplates, that means that's not their real faces?" And he just tweeted back, "Yes."
And I did see your follow-up tweet, I think this morning, of like, I will forever regret this tweet. With all of the responses. It's horrifying to think about.
Okay, so Kate has opened the door. What is the mythology? How much do you know about who are these Fall Guys? Where are they competing? For whose amusement? What is going on?
So, what is happening?
Oh, there was a good lead up there.
So I think the way we see it in the world is that there is not too much. Fall Guys has popped into existence, and it is a world that has been built to run game shows, and everything in the world is game show. Fall Guys don't go home at the end of the day and wash the dishes. They compete, and they love competing. This is insane, by the way, that we're winning 17-0.
Yeah, this is gross.
Wow, that's my biggest win ever in Fall Guys. In Fall Ball, I should say.
But yeah, you're right. It's not Earth. It's another dimension where Fall Guys compete, and it is streamed through cameras out to the rest of, I guess, the universe, which is what we are, I guess.
So are these Fall Guys created and bred to compete? And is this the whole point of their existence?
I think bred. When you say bred, that sounds bad. I think
mean,
in my head they just pop into existence.
They just
like
they just appear.
Yeah, they just appear on that podium at the beginning.
But this is their
oh my
purpose in
God.
life. Like you said, they have no other purpose. Yeah. Okay.
Their goal in life is to win crowns.
Do they have feelings?
I can relate to that.
Like if they lose, are they upset?
I mean, they do emote, right? They go woohoo and things. That suggests they have some kind of feelings.
Yes. So like the way we see it is that they feel like they're briefly frustrated at going out. Like they want to win and they're competitive, but at the end of the day, it's lighthearted and they're just happy to compete at the end of the day. Like they want to win, but if they don't, that's why it's so important for us to see them like cheering on the finish line. Even when you get eliminated in the first round, they're like, they still want you to be proud of them that they tried their best. I
just want to be clear. This is not like a Hunger Games type scenario where like no one's being forced to compete, right? They want to be here. Is that the case?
It sounds like it's their only purpose in life is to be here. They're fulfilling their life's purpose.
Exactly. They want to be here, but also they don't have a choice. But mostly they want to be here.
Oh my God.
2 platforms left. I'm over here with some dummies. I don't know about you guys.
Joe, like I know Oliver answered this on Twitter, but I don't know if we're taking that seriously anymore. Are they 6 feet tall?
I've always said that they're not, but then Oliver doesn't listen to me when he tweets.
No, because technically they actually are 1.83 meters in the
I just got briefed by a son of a fucking shit. Fuck that guy. And he went over the edge with me, and
I get so much
it was a
joy
murder
from
suicide. Fuck this game. Sorry. That's top guys. That's top guys in a nutshell.
1.83 meters tall. They are that tall in
If you
game.
believe the game engine, that's how big they are inside there.
I do believe that.
It's
just me
is
and
that
Joe.
true?
Oh no, there's someone else.
Yeah, it was Joel that told me. It's not me that made it up.
Then how did people find out and make that awful graph?
No, I
that's
tweeted
based
it.
on that's based on the in-game size. In my head, they've always been a little bit cuter than that. They've always been about like 4 feet, I would say.
So still pretty big.
Yeah, still pretty. Yeah, definitely big. Like they're not. Oh God!
Up! Oh my God, Joe's still in. I was
There's only
thinking
2 of us left, Kate.
It's a small. So there's a crown guaranteed here. Team crown guaranteed.
Oh my God!
It's Joe.
Whoa.
It's Joe.
Yes.
You are so toxic.
It's Joe.
I just got griefed by the lead designer of the game.
Did
quit.
he grief you? What happened?
He fucking griefed me. He grabbed me. Oh my God.
I mean,
That's
it's all in the game, right? It's all part of the game.
No, this game sucks.
Toxic there.
You're toxic.
Glorious.
I can't believe you. Oh my God.
I think we're level pegging for crowns now, Kate. 17.
Congratulations, Team Talk guys, on our first crown. That's my attitude.
Well done.
It's not about me.
Oh, you didn't just get griefed on the jump showdown. My God.
No, I did, but by a rando.
Not by the lead designer of the game.
I mean, I feel like if the lead designer does it, that inherently is okay, right?
No.
I feel like griefing is like doing things that are detrimental to the game, like pulling people back at the finish line. But I'm trying to win. That's just strategy.
I think you mentioned this earlier, Joe. Like, did you imagine that this kind of antisocial behavior, like players trying to sabotage each other, like that's baked into the recipe, right? That's not something you were surprised by. Okay.
No, that's deliberate. Like, definitely.
It was happening on the dev team as well when we were playtesting before, so it's not a surprise.
Yeah, like it was really important to us to have some shenanigans in the game, because without it, you're just running courses alongside other people. Like it just doesn't create enough meaningful moments of interaction between people. And the grab just allows you to like disrupt people, and in a mostly pointless way. But it was still important to have it, just because we didn't know what people were going to do with it.
What was the first?
I'm right at the back.
What was the first level of this you ever built? Like, what was your prototype like test level for this? Because there must have been one of them, right?
Yeah, the first one was DoorDash. Really, that was the first thing that we built that made it into the game. We built a bunch of really rubbish stuff that was like big giant.
Middle door.
We were really obsessed with oh my God. We were really obsessed with movable blocks for ages. Like, we were sure that was going to be the DNA of Fall Guys with movable blocks.
Easy qual.
And so oh God, this is going to be close. Come on, guys.
Easy qual.
Easy qual.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Did you not? Oh, was that you at the finish line getting eliminated? Oh my god.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Hoisted by your own
0 to
unjust
0.
petard.
Oh, shoot.
Wasn't that round 1 as well, Jay?
That was.
Yeah.
Oh, that feels bad.
That was the onboarding round for noobs.
I did say that.
You really did. Oh my goodness.
When are we going to see season 2, by the way?
Sometime in October. I'll definitely say it's going to be sometime in October. We don't have an exact release date yet.
It's exciting.
And so how long do you expect the seasons to be? Because it seems like they're about 60, like 2 months, 60 days?
Yeah, I mean, the first season has been 2 months, which is we'd had planned from the get-go. That gives us enough time to like settle down and plan some more stuff. But we don't know. That might not be the case going forward.
Right.
Obviously, things have kind of changed since we initially made a plan. So,
so here's our first Seesaw. Peppers is going to be coming on the show, I think, at some point and giving us the lowdown. But from your perspective, tell us about Seesaw.
Oh, I think Seesaw is the epitome of Fall Guys in a lot of ways.
I love this level.
I have a love-hate relationship with it.
Because I think it's this idea of having to team up, but also having to screw people over at the same time is, I think, what makes Fall Guys different and unique from other multiplayer games. And that's like the DNA of like Takeshi's Castle are those moments where they help each other over the finish line,
right?
Even though they're competing. And that was kind of what we wanted initially, was like rounds where people kind of had to help each other but also would screw each other over. And that's kind of where the team games came from as well, was a way of like forcing that in a slightly less subtle way to like make people team up.
Right.
But Seesaw is like a great one. It's like play nice, but also try and screw everyone over at the finish line anyway.
But Seesaw is definitely a team game, but it's you versus everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. The lines are a lot more fuzzy.
Oh no, purple! Okay. Oh, we're good.
What are your personal favorite levels in this game?
Yeah.
I hated Slime Climb to begin with until I could do it, and then now it's my favorite.
I think everyone's has that narrative arc with Slime Climb.
Yeah. People ask so much to make it easier. Like, it's too hard. It's like, give it time.
I think they just didn't know how to play it.
It clicks.
I love Hex.
I might not qual on my favorite level.
I think we might have Peppers. I think we might have Peps in the chat right now. There's someone called Pepper-san who is saying, "I hope you are enjoying the greatest round in Fall Guys."
It's my favorite level.
Or a fan of him.
I mean, it is. I have a love-hate relationship with it, but I do think it sums up Fall Guys as well as any round in this game does.
Yeah, definitely. My personal favorite is Hexagon though. I love Hexagon.
Oh, that is a clenchy round.
I could play.
That's the heart rate game right there.
I could play Hexagon for 5 rounds in a row, quite happily.
Oh, don't.
So the counter to that is, what's your least favorite level?
Mine's Perfect Match. I've got a really bad memory, so I feel like it's really unfair.
I would probably say team tail tag, probably.
I can appreciate that.
And why do you feel that way?
There's not enough interesting team play that comes out of it at the end of the day. I think we need to have a little look at it and see if there are some ways. We were kind of hoping that there would be some more immersion strategies around protecting tails of your teammates and passing your tails onto other people, but I think the player count's too big for that stuff to happen.
Right.
And there's not enough really. You know, we talked about like the 1 in a million moments earlier. I just don't think there are quite enough in Team Tail Tag right now.
So we're playing X Scramble, of course, for the first time here. Tell us about this one.
This is another Meg Ralph original.
We should get Meg on. It seems like she's did a bunch of good stuff in this game.
Definitely.
Oliver and I have just been doing a strat that I have never seen before.
What is that?
Which is, Oliver was standing in the middle, grabbing eggs and chucking them behind this partition, and then I would run them. I would run them back to base and drop them in. I've never seen anybody do that before.
So me and Oliver did PAX East this year, or earlier in Boston, which feels like insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we sat and played Egg Scramble and watched Egg Scramble every day for 4 days, like 8 hours a day. And so we have just got like finely honed Egg Scramble strategies like you have no idea.
I mean, look
I would
at
show you, but I
32.
got eliminated.
32.
Yellow is killing it right now.
With blue.
Oliver is participating in the destruction of his own meme by crushing it on yellow team.
That's true. Actually, we've won every time we've been on yellow in this stream.
It's true.
So one of the interesting metas in these three-way games is, of course, it's not about coming first. It's just about not coming last. And I've noticed that there is a kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy that when one team starts to fall behind, the other teams will gang up on them because it's like, okay, they're down. Make sure they stay down, right? Was that deliberate, or do you imagine that was going to be part of the meta of the three-way games?
Yeah, I think we realized it wasn't deliberate, but we realized pretty quickly while we were playing it that was going to become a thing. And so that's kind of why we added the golden eggs a little bit, was to make sure that like that can still happen, but then you manage to steal a golden egg and suddenly you're no longer the victim anymore.
You can
like,
still have a big
tide
very late.
The tides can turn. Yeah. And that was why we added them. Like without the golden eggs, it was just a kind of a done deal once you got behind. But I think the rounds are short enough that initial tension around like, oh god, are we going to be the team? Like, like suddenly the score starts to drop and you can feel that turning of focus onto your team and everyone starts mugging you. Like, I think that's what makes that level fun. Like, I think that's a perfectly great Fall Guys rounds to just avoid being the team that gets mugged.
And the ones that don't have the golden eggs can be interesting too, because like they could the last 5 seconds it really tells the story. They can swing so radically in Hoarders and Team Tailtag.
Yeah.
You think you've got it, and then it's into overtime, and then you end up losing. Oh my god!
As far as team games specifically go, I'm quite partial to Hoopsie Daisy. I think that's my favorite team game.
I like Hoopsie Daisy.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite team game?
Oh, I love Rock and Roll. The one where you got to push the ball to the goal.
I like that one too.
I like that one
as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so we played it earlier. Is there a methodology to that? I know some people like to send a spoiler forward. Other people just like to get everyone behind the ball. What's the winning tactic for that game?
I think it's tricky. I think people are still figuring out the optimal ratio between griefers and ball pushers. I think you all have to be committed to getting your ball ahead early. Like everyone needs to push and get yourself across that finish line first, because it's definitely one where the team that are ahead get far enough ahead that they don't have to worry anymore, and it's the other two teams at the end that really suffer. So I think you've got to focus on being as fast as you can, and then after that it's anybody's game.
I don't understand these teams that send someone forward right at the start, because there's not even anything they can do until the balls come out into the communal area, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just one less man behind the ball.
I thought that was the final.
No, it's gold for the final.
I got a bunch of questions coming in from the chat, and they're all the ones that I know you've heard a million times. I got to do my job and at least ask you. Crossplay.
Right, let's do this.
Crossplay.
Maybe one day.
Okay. Xbox.
Maybe one day.
Nintendo Switch.
Maybe one day.
Cross progression.
That's a lot harder.
Why is that hard? Why is that harder?
Okay.
Because we don't have like a Fall Guys account. Like it's your Steam account and it's your PlayStation account, and the two aren't sort of like linked together.
Yeah.
So there's no way to link them easily.
Yeah. Exactly. And so like I'm trying completely hypothetically, say we did a really, really awesome deal with like Valve, for example, and we have all these amazing costumes in the game, and then we go to like another platform who like maybe don't want Valve costumes in their game or appearing on their platform.
Right.
It's like, then how do we do cross-platform progression? Because suddenly things have to start being filtered, and you know, like all of these things are ultimately solvable, but it's where more complication appears basically when you start doing cross-platform progression.
This is looking like Kate.
Maybe.
Who got it? Who got it? Did you get it?
I did!
Yay! Yay for Kate!
The curse is broken!
Team Talk Guys is back on top.
Oh,
Have you overtaken Joe again?
Damn it. Why am I cheering?
Yeah, I have. I'm at 18.
God.
So that's two.
Ooh,
that's two team crowns. One for Joe, one for Kate.
I could get my 20 crown Chivo today.
Ooh.
If I get two more.
Nice.
Ooh, let's go.
Okay,
so I gotta update my crown counter.
Let's get real though. We Xbox and Nintendo Switch, like you gotta check those boxes. But for right now, all you can officially say is maybe one day, right?
Yeah, like right now our real focus is on making the PlayStation and the PC games as good as they possibly can be. Like, we really have to build trust with the community now, and make sure that they believe that we can support this game and make it really good, because the game is like no longer ours, right? Like, we develop it and we put it out there, and now it belongs to the community essentially.
Right.
So it's our job now to be like, hey, community, we know what you want and we're listening and we're working as hard as we can to try and fix it. And for us to just go like, hey, well, like, now we're going to just focus on bringing it to more platforms. It's not the right thing to do at this point in development, to just like, because that, you know, like, that will make us more money, but that's not what we want to do right now. Like, the focus is on building that relationship with the community and like,
It's also
getting people on side and building that trust.
Also becomes, every time you deploy onto a whole other platform and add a whole other user base, that then becomes much more work for you to support, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. It's a huge job.
Yeah, a lot of people on Twitter seem to think it's just like an extra button you press, and then suddenly it's like available for Xbox.
Actually, speaking of that, as you've tagged myself and Gary in some of these tweets, which has been wonderful, thank you, we get to see a lot of the replies that come through.
Whatever they're paying you, Oliver, it's not enough.
So we get just a taste, and in the past couple of weeks we've gotten a real taste of what you deal with as the social media manager. How do you deal with it? Do you ignore it? Do you like feed into it? What do you do?
Humor or ignoring it, I think, is the way to go.
Like, I see, I see Oliver tweet out a thing saying, "Hey, we're going to play Fall Guys with these, with Gary and Kate," and then I get 100. I pick up my phone in the morning. I have 100 mentions. Oh my god, what have I done now? But it's 100 people responding to that by going, "Why don't I have my crowns? And where's my Xbox version?"
Get rid of hackers.
That's the forum to get your question answered. Oh yeah.
I've just started telling folks when they ask me to put it on Xbox. I've just said okay.
Yeah, did you see that one where someone said fix the servers on Gary? So I just said, Gary, fix the servers.
Gary, fix the servers.
So, I'll get right on that. I just saw a bunch of people do that yeet trick. That's getting quite popular.
Yeah, it's really good.
Sorry, you were
saying.
Gary,
did you fix the servers, by the way?
Oh yeah, they're working, aren't they?
Yeah, cool.
Sorry, Joe, you were saying one of the things?
I think one of the things I've seen Oliver say in the past is that kindness is the best response a lot of the time. Like, you get a lot of messages on various social media about like, hey, like, this level is crap and I hate it and you ruined the game and this thing should be deleted. And if you respond and just say, hey, like, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, you know, there's a lot going on and we're trying to fix these things. A lot of the time you get messages back being like, hey, I was pretty hammered when I sent that and I didn't really mean what I said and now I regret it. Like, generally people just frustrated because they care about the game and they want it to be the way they can. And if you just interact with them, generally people chill out, but there's a scale at which that sort of becomes unsustainable, which is what Oliver has to deal with.
And that's another point I wanted to touch on, is that this game, while being inherently quite cute and fun and, you know, lighthearted, does seem to draw the toxicity out of everybody that plays it. I can't play this game without swearing just at an unbelievable level.
It brings the worst out of everyone in the best way.
But I find that it's also, for such a sweet game, it has also harbored like a really dedicated and wonderful community, but also people taking it so seriously in a toxic way online.
That's what I find hilarious. It's like finding out that my kid's kindergarten class has a toxic community. It's like, what?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. But it's, you know, you might expect it from a shooter game or something like that, but seeing it for a game like this,
that's why it's so funny. Like when you're shouting like "fuck you, hot dog" and stuff like that. I mean, it's just all part of the fun of it.
Absolutely.
It's actually a challenge to find video clips where people aren't swearing.
But you know, I don't know if that's been a challenge for you, because one of the great strengths of the game, of course, is it's, you know, appropriate for all ages. You know, my 8-year-old daughter loves playing it, but it's hard for her to watch because I can't find a stream that isn't people effing and blinding all the time.
Yeah. I have parents coming into my chat being like, "Is this a PG? Can I watch this with my kid? They're 8. Do you swear?" And I'm like, I do. Yeah, I do. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I mean, my kid's able to watch these videos because she understands that some words are bad words and she shouldn't say them. But like, when she watches some of these streams, my goodness. The
I mean,
language.
You're the one swearing, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, and,
like,
it's my streams she's watching. Oh man. She would say, "You shouldn't say that, Daddy." I'm like, "Well, blame the fucking designers."
Blame Joe.
Yeah, blame Joe. I'll give you.
Joe, don't do this to me. Joe, don't do this to me. Oh my god.
No, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare.
Oh my god.
That's a line I do not go to. Pushing people off the end of slime climb is abhorrent behavior.
I like that.
One of the things that I found
That's why you'd
interesting
never
about
want to crown
slime
it.
climb was like finish line griefing was a thing for a while, but now people have found all kinds of places where you can like Twinkie griefers are a thing now, like on the logs. Like they'll grief. There's like all kinds of places you can get grief.
Yeah, and Joe is a Twinkie griefer. We went over this. It's devastating.
Yeah, I'm here for that. That's funny
cool.
doing that because it doesn't
Easy
eliminate
qual.
people. It just
Easy
makes them
qual.
have to go again.
Slime climb doesn't hold any fear for me anymore. I used to dread it, and now I embrace it. I'm like, bring it on. I got you. I got your number.
So while we're kind of on the topic of social media and community, part of the game's success, or at least part of the way that the game has blown up so much since its launch, is definitely due to the Twitter account and just the general face of the social media, more so than other games that we've seen. Do you agree with that? Do you feel a certain way about that?
Yeah. Are you comfortable, Oliver, as you clearly have been, taking all the credit for Fall Guys' success?
I know specifically what you're referring to.
I know it. Yeah. Let's not touch on that, But how do you feel about how your work on the social media has impacted the success of the game?
I think it's sort of like it's just worked together. Like I've kind of like amplified a lot of the things that are in the game and sort of taken that out on social media as well. I think that's worked really well. And then being as personal and so on, as open and just kind of really down to earth with players has gone down really well. And I think like you can definitely see that the Twitter has grown faster than some other games.
Yes.
Yeah.
To what extent? Because I'm not too familiar with how like the community social manager department of a development team or a publisher is integrated into the rest of it. Like, do you anytime you're doing like starting a meme or a little media campaign or whatever on Twitter, are you clear? Is that kind of in concert with the developers and the rest of the, or is it like like Joe sitting at his computer one day, he's like, oh, Oliver's gone rogue again. What like what's he up to now? Like
at the moment, everyone's like so busy that it's just sort of me kind of winging it and then kind of keeping them informed of what's going on.
Right.
And is that why you're hiring a second social media community manager?
Yeah, it's a lot of work to kind of manage all this stuff. It's just one person. Games usually have like a whole team of people behind the social accounts.
I just keep tripping on this one hoop.
We're doing okay.
I got the middle one. I got the middle
again,
one.
as long as there's one team.
Oh, good job, Joe.
Lagging, you're okay.
Yeah,
I don't care
red
if I
team
win.
with the new yellow team.
Just don't want to lose.
So we were talking to Lupo about this yesterday, and for Hoopsie Daisy, do you have particular strats? Because my strat, and it seems that Lupo's as well, is to kind of dedicate yourself to a certain section of the map, where I kind of hold mid-ramp and try to go for everything around there. Do you have a similar strat, or do you just kind of go rogue and do whatever you want?
I try and keep an eye out on where gold hoops can spawn, and I try and keep myself slightly spread out from the rest of my team as well. Oh, that's absolutely. Oh, I got those. Like it's important for a team to be spread out, and so I spend quite a lot of time looking at my other teammates.
Yellow team wins.
Nice. Generally, I like the spinners because you can get a good catapult off of the middle spinner to wherever you need to go.
True.
How many like you got the 24 that you launched with. How many levels did you have and do like was there an issue like thinking like which 24 do we want to go with, or did the 24 that you were going to deploy with like did that kind of take shape fairly on in development?
No, I mean spin probably is one of the hardest things has been trying to get 24 amazing levels together. It's been really hard, It took us a while to figure out what a great Fall Guys level was. We to begin with the game was 100 players, and so we were trying to make things work for 100, and it just wasn't working.
Right.
And that was a really nice.
How did 60 emerge as the sweet spot?
60 was kind of like 100. We tried 100, and it was too crazy. And we played around with like 40, 50, 60, and asked people how many people they thought were playing. And people always seemed to think it was about 100 when we had 50 or 60 people in there. So it seemed like a good starting point.
Tell us about Tiptoe since we're here.
Yeah, is there a strat for this, or is it just completely random? Other than the shaky tiles.
So the wiggly tiles are always duff, right?
Gary,
Yeah,
was
wiggly
that
tiles are
you?
always duff.
Okay.
Did you just bot me?
No, not deliberately. I would never do that.
You absolutely did.
I mean, is there a strategy here?
Oh
like,
no! Fuck no! Which way is it? I can't remember
This is
the
the thing.
start.
Like, it's too late at this point to make a mistake. Here we go.
Can you guys just wait? Don't let anyone
shit.
move. Let me catch
Okay.
up. No! Stop! Slow them down.
Okay, it's left. It's left. Okay, it's more left. Oh shit!
It has to
is
be.
all-
It has to be.
This other
straight,
tomato
right?
is fucking with me. Get off me.
That's okay. That's the tomato that griefed me off.
Okay, which way
It's
is
one
it?
of the-
Is it
It's
forward?
one of these. I'm waiting for one of these tiles to shake.
Do they all
There you go.
shake the
Forward,
same on
forward.
everyone's screen at the
Yeah.
same time?
Oh,
Yes.
I got eliminated!
Oh, Kate!
Oh my god.
It's so close. Yeah, the
That's
shaking's
fine.
networked, so it shakes consistently on everyone's screen.
Oh, that's good to know, actually.
I mean, so there's not like a trick to that you can figure out, is there? That game?
No. You just got to try and read where the shakes are and memorize it.
Right.
And so there's
Try and
no
see
like,
where it hasn't shaken.
there's
Right.
no series of preset routes or anything. It's just
No.
And
Yeah,
one
basically
thing-
what it
completely
does is
random every time.
it generates a path to the finish line, and then it generates another second path to the finish line,
Okay.
and then it just turns the both on, and away you go.
So there's always two paths to the finish line.
They could overlap though, right?
But they can overlap, so there's not always two.
Okay.
Now I heard something about that maybe the second path was a mistake and then it just got left in the game. Is that correct?
No,
I
that's
can't remember
no,
where I
we-
read that.
They don't make mistakes.
No, it was always two actually. Alex Welly, one of the engineers on the project, it was like his first attempt. He was like, "I'm just going to throw this in. We're going to do two parts. We'll see how it plays, and we'll figure it out from later." And then we just kept playing it, and it just kept generating like amazing paths, and like it was always different. It always created something weird and unique. So we just kept it in.
God
We're
damn
like,
it! I
"Ross,
fucked up here.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
I don't-
You still have a chance.
Nah, the
so
wolf's got
behind.
it. The wolf's got it. Oh, it's
No,
high
if
for
they-
him. It's high for him. He's got
Yeah,
to
that's
wait.
the thing.
Yeah, he got it. He got it. He got it at the last second.
I didn't even get to pass the hammers.
Somebody asked a question in the chat, and I think they're being serious, but we were actually joking about this last night. Lupo cracked up when we said, "Can you imagine if this game had open voice chat?"
Oh my god.
Oh no, I hate it. People keep suggesting it on Twitter. It's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I mean,
Yeah.
it would. I think it would lead to the downfall of civilization.
Yeah.
That goes in the category of like things people think they want but don't actually want, and it's like voice chat.
Yeah. Usually
Voice
I
chat
tell
is-
everyone their ideas are great, but that is the one that I just tell them it's just the worst.
Going back
No.
to Tiptoe, Kate, didn't we hit? I think for the first time ever last night, we hit a dead end, right? Like that can happen.
A complete dead end. I've never
Really?
seen it, and there was no tiles around
We
it.
hit a
couldn't
dead
get
end.
past
Yeah,
it.
it was just a path that
What?
went to nothing.
Did you know that was possible, Joe?
I'm trying to think in my head how it could happen. Because the path always goes right or left or forwards. It can't double back on itself as far as I know.
It went completely straight to the right, and then it just
Yeah, we'll show you the
stopped.
clip. It went no play.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
okay,
send me
this
the
is-
clip.
Yeah,
We
we'll
found a
find it.
bug. That's cool. I've seen one where it's
also-
been just a straight line, like with no.
all the way straight through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cool.
incredible.
Sounds like a feature. I know we kind of briefly touched on this, and people are asking quite a bit. So I'm gonna ask you, and you can answer in whatever way you're comfy. Custom servers, are we gonna see them? Is it a priority?
I think we will probably one day see them. Yeah, we know how much people want to do it, and we totally appreciate how much, especially like Twitch streamers, want to play with their chat. Like that would be so awesome. We would love to make that happen. But it's not quite as high a priority as things like getting this game server like stable and adding new rounds and keeping things like that. So like we're definitely looking into it, and we're having conversations very regularly about how we could achieve that. But for now, it's going to be a slightly longer wait. Oh, I'm miles ahead. So yeah,
What are,
hopefully
like,
coming soon.
What are like the most pressing priorities right now? Like,
Yeah.
what are the top few things on your to-do list?
So I think the first biggest one is hackers. I mean, we've not seen any yet, luckily, touch wood.
Right.
But that is the biggest thing that we need to fix is people cheating. Because if we can't fix that, then people will stop playing the game because
Right.
it sucks. It sucks to get to the final round and then
And I
lose to a
don't
cheater.
get the mentality at all. And you know, it's like, is there any satisfaction in winning that way? And like, you're messing with like other kids are playing this game. Like, fuck these
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I guess it's the same people who cheat at, I don't know, everything else in life. It's just people who take joy in ruining other people's day, essentially.
And how do you tackle? I don't want to get too technical, but how do you tackle that problem? How do you identify and deal with hackers?
There's some stuff in the game that kind of detects that stuff, and then it will kind of boot them out afterwards. But it doesn't currently boot them out in the middle of the game at the moment, so it's only like after the game's ended, then it deals with them.
Is there a reporting system currently?
We don't really need one because it does auto-detect people and then handle it itself.
Okay.
So a lot of the people, Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, I was just going to say that like we're going to have some like big improvements to the anti-cheat stuff coming soon.
Cool.
Like we totally hear people that it's a problem, and that's our like #1 priority right now in terms of what we're adding to the game is better anti-cheat.
What else? What else is up there on the list?
Or new levels, definitely. New rounds, new ways to play interesting rounds. That's like a huge thing for us right now. It's just bringing as much variety and as much ridiculousness to the game as possible.
Easy qual. Sorry, go ahead, Kate.
Just saying, is there going to be, obviously we're talking about season 2 with the announcement yesterday, is there going to be any further big updates that we can expect in season 1 before the medieval season 2 levels and skins and stuff come out?
I don't want to commit because things can go wrong, but we are working on stuff that should drop before season 2. So I would expect more fixes and more improvements before then.
Any new levels, maybe?
Maybe. Maybe. We should have some cool new stuff.
Confirmed.
Just branching off of that. He's tweeting it right now. Oliver's tweeting it.
I've got one.
Branching off of that, though, are you thinking of doing any specialized like holiday content, Halloween, Christmas?
Ooh, yeah. People love that seasonal content.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if we don't do something for like the big holidays of the year. There's just like even just costumes. Like, I just want to dress my Fall Guy up in stupid Halloween costumes.
Can I give you a free $1 million idea? Yule guys. For Christmas.
Oh, that is
Yule
good.
guys, it's coming.
You're the first
Confirmed.
person to call it that. Actually, I like it.
Which means, by the way, there isn't
qualifying.
it.
I don't think I'm qualifying.
Oh,
see what he's done there.
Easy qual.
I'm not qualifying.
Easy qual.
I'm done.
Yeah, the Santa costume. I can't wait. Elves, reindeers. Bring them up. Give me all of that. I want it all.
Why do people go on the middle on this? I don't understand. That log is just impossible.
Okay, so that's the second time I've heard that. You're confirming that it's a log and not a Slim Jim or a cinnamon
log.
stick.
I don't know where people are getting these ideas from.
It's the log fruit.
No, both of you have said log tonight. I have banked that. As soon as Joe said it earlier, I was like, oh.
It's a log. Why would you think it's anything else?
Because the Fall Guys Twitter account says otherwise.
Yeah, you can't go by anything that
I think if we
says.
take one thing away from this stream, it's that you shouldn't believe anything Oliver says on Twitter.
Yeah,
I believe everything Oliver says on Twitter.
I have one very minor pet peeve that I would like to see fixed, and I'm sure it's on your list somewhere. Is when will PC users get their bespoke names back? Because I'm tired of being Fall Guy 1478. I know it's an issue. I understand it. What's it going to take to fix it?
I think the main thing is just finding a way that allows people to have some control over their names, but doesn't give us the nightmare of having to filter things out and constantly keep updating a list. So we're trying to find a middle ground there. So it's probably going to be. It's really important to us, like because this game is played by kids and played by younger audiences, that we have some sort of control over the names that people post.
Right.
You mean you don't want players with the username Squirt and Grannies, which is a memorable one for my first Fall Guys game ever?
Yeah, exactly. It's just not really in the spirit of Fall Guys. So like,
and
people will have ways to like have a name that has more personality than what it has now, for sure.
And Kate will call her character Horny for Crowns, which is what she calls her stream
That's
titles.
My stream title whenever I play this, because I'm horny for crowns.
Yeah.
I like it.
So on Sony, on PlayStation, obviously not a problem because Sony already kind of takes care of that for you.
Yes.
Right? You just use the PSN name.
Unfortunately, Steam names is
Steam
different.
names is the Wild West. Yeah.
They're a little more laissez-faire when it comes to this stuff. Oh god.
Who do we have in right now? I see Gary.
I'm still around.
Oh, are you in as well?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that is.
Yep.
Is everyone?
Oh, and Oliver. It's just me who's out.
Okay, so, I guess Kate didn't make it. Okay. All right. God, I hate.
What happened, Kate?
What happened?
Oh my god, I'm getting grief. I'm getting
Fruit
grief by
Shoot
another
ruined
tomato. This tomato with like the black suit is messing with me. I don't like it.
Don't trust tomatoes in this game. It's the bargain bucket crown costume.
So the thing that will often kill you in this game when you don't jump and you get caught under the plank and dragged, is that deliberate or is that a glitch? Because it kills me all the fucking time.
That's a glitch.
Okay.
Confirmed glitch.
Driving
it just
me
killed
nuts.
Oliver, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I've just been glitched.
No one is immune.
Question about the patch that we actually just recently saw. You mentioned you had a whole bunch of things that were implemented. That was great. One of them was unable to be implemented, which was auto-spectating your team. Any ideas of when we'll be able to have that happen?
I'm not sure yet. We're working on it.
Okay.
It's one of those things that sounds like it should be very easy, but is actually kind of complicated. I
Isn't
don't
it just
profess to
pushing a
understand
button?
it, but
Come on, that's what game dev is, right?
yeah, yeah. That's most of my Twitter replies at the moment.
All right, here we go.
Some people. One of my favorites is people who tweet lines of code. Like, why don't you just implement this line of code? Like, oh my god.
Put this in the game.
Yeah.
And then
Like, is it not this simple?
Anti-cheat as well. They were like, why can't you just do this to stop cheaters? And it's like, well,
it's a lot more complex than that.
Yeah.
And
Right,
then
we've got to beat 17-0. Come on.
a quick follow-up, and this is just something that I know Gary and I would both love to see. And it's very much not important, but have you considered on the load screen while you're populating your rounds having all 4 of your squad members or 2 or 3 falling at the same time?
Yeah, we're going to drop as a squad.
Yes, it hurts me to my very core that that's not implemented, and I would love it. It's such a shame that we don't have that.
So it's coming at some point?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Again, that doesn't feel
like
like
how you
it
just
doesn't feel
went,
like,
yeah.
that doesn't feel like we got to put this fire out priority, but it's on the list, right?
Yeah,
I do appreciate Joe's response of, you know what, fine. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, like right now we're very much like the things we're focusing on are things that would stop people playing Fall Guys and never come back. Like that's a really big thing. Like cheaters, it's like that will make people leave Fall Guys and never return, no matter how awesome our most recent content
No,
is.
I understand why
no one's quitting the game because they didn't see their squad mates drop.
And do you feel like
that stuff is still important?
Is it a concern or is it just a nuisance? Like, do you feel like you've got a handle on how to deal with it?
We know how to deal with it. Like we've got a really solid plan and we're just executing it now.
That's awesome. It's good to hear.
But that's not to say that we'll never have any cheaters again. Like these kinds of things are always a bit of a cat and mouse like race when it comes to cheaters. What a goal!
That was a nice one.
Cheaters are very smart.
Are you comfortable in this game with the tactic that's developed of just like if you just stand at the halfway line, you can just head it in from the halfway line pretty effectively? Is that something you need to address, or again, it's all part of the game?
Yeah, but like people don't do enough of grabbing around the center circle because you can stop the other team doing by grabbing them. Like
it's a physical game.
Yeah, grabbing is so underused on Full Ball. It's ridiculous. Like people haven't really discovered it yet. Like grabbing the goalie, throwing people off, all of that stuff.
Oh
is
my
just
god!
Oh, look at that! 2 at once.
How are we so good?
We're killing it.
Oh,
You're just better.
People have stopped playing. This woolly mammoth is.
Yeah, over it.
He's done. He's done. Hello.
Oh, give him a hug.
Nice.
Nice work, team.
That was a good one.
This sounds like it's going to be a final right now.
Yeah.
So I've seen finals in as few as 3 rounds and potentially as many as 7 rounds. Is it possible to go up to 7?
Yeah, I saw that too the other day. I have no idea why that would happen. Like, to give a bit of like, royal fumble.
Get ready, Kate.
To give it a background, the way it kind of works is that it mostly looks at player count, and then it adds a weighting to each round based on the current player count, and then it also looks at the round that you've already currently played and tries to like filter them out. So if you played Jump Club, you're probably not going to play Jump Showdown as the final round. That's the general system. But there are just because it's a weighting system, sometimes it can do weird things, and we're going to kind of be like working on it to reduce the amount of weirdness that it can possibly. He's in the middle.
I see.
Someone
else has got it now. The purple guy's got it. I have a question.
I think it's just
I have a question from the chat that I'm going to paraphrase because I can't like look at it right now. A lot of chatter around that 5 trophy in a row or 5 crown in a row trophy or achievement. Are you surprised?
Yeah.
Have you been surprised at how many people have been getting it, or how few? Or obviously, really hard to get, but some people are getting it.
Yeah, we had Neil Druckmann get it.
Druckmann got it. Yeah. Oh, I've got it. I got the tail.
You just took it from Joe.
Oh, I didn't. I'll take it from anyone.
He doesn't care. We're not. This isn't a team game.
Give me that tail, you fucking unicorn.
Is that Oliver?
That's Oliver.
No, I'm out.
Oh, that's not Oliver.
I got it.
Oh, fuck.
20
See,
seconds.
if only there were custom names, I would know who's on my team.
Yeah.
If only the devs would fucking get on the job.
Press the button.
Just push the button. It's so easy.
No, he's got it. Pink bastard.
Oh,
Joe. Got it.
Oh, no.
Gary!
Apple. Tomato. 5
Gary's
seconds.
got it. Gary's got it.
No! You
How does it feel, Gary? How does it feel?
Damn it.
It was the other tomato.
How does it feel?
And it's the same bastard that was griefing me on Block Party as well. I fucking had it.
Oh, that feels so
okay,
good.
Can I suggest a change? If you still have the tail with 1 second left on the clock, you can just fucking have it. How about that?
No, that was delicious.
That's not what you were saying earlier when you stole it from Kate.
I'm not happy
Change the
about
tune,
that.
Gary.
And the thing that makes me sad is I know that Kate is loving that.
I am eating all of this up right
She's
now.
loving
it feels
every
so
moment of it.
good.
I thought I had it.
Delicious.
And this is one of these things where you got to feel like you almost just kind of like, because there's no way to design for that, right? And yet so many of those tail grabs seem to happen in literally the last second, like those incredible clip-worthy moments, right? Like you can't design for that, and yet there it is. Or can you? I don't know. It's just nutty.
Yeah, I mean, like, generally what we're designing for is potential for these things to happen. Like, designing systems in a way that can combine in interesting ways is the goal. So, like, you don't design specifically for things, but you design very generic mechanics that can be used in lots of interesting ways.
Right.
And then you just sort of let the game take over and hope for the best. Yeah, it's a nightmare to try and get it all working, but I'm very pleased with where we ended up.
A really fun aspect of the game is people love the costumes, they love the skins. What kind of effort is going on? Like, how much of that is the effort to kind of make sure that you're keeping the store fresh with fun new things? Because that's a lot of work too, right? Coming up with the ideas for them, implementing them, deploying them. What kind of effort is going on there, and what do you want to see going forward in terms of the costumes and the skins and stuff?
Yeah, so I think the art team are like hard at work on the medieval stuff at the moment. We've got some really, really cool medieval costumes coming, like the ones that we teased in the trailer, plus a bunch more as well coming after that.
So it's not just the four we saw.
Oh no, there's more than that.
Ooh.
Kate's very excited
really
about the witch. A lot of people are excited about that witch.
So excited about that witch costume.
I want the dragon. That's one I'm excited about.
The dragon. I want the dragon as well. But they're really working on that stuff, and then a bunch of other cool, like, exciting things that are coming up that hopefully we can talk about soon. And then just like really injecting the store with like even more content, really, because people are like chewing through it. Like,
there's nothing for me to buy today.
Really?
Nothing for me to buy in my store. It just says coming soon.
That's happened sooner than we thought, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought we had enough stuff in there for months, and people have just absolutely blitzed it.
Just about the skins thing, do you have any plans to do like crossovers with, we were discussing this maybe last night, with like, Marvel skins or movie IPs or other video games? Even you've got the exclusive deal with Sony right now. Do you have any plans to have exclusive Sony IP skins?
Oh, that would be cool, wouldn't it?
Little Nathan Drake running around.
With just a big butt?
We've got some exciting things coming up that we haven't announced.
Yeah.
Any idea of when you're going to be able to announce them? Can you tease a little bit of it today?
Come on. What are you here for if not
just
to
a little
create some headlines?
As a treat.
You're here. Came all this way.
They're thinking about it.
I don't know what we can say. Joe, what can you say?
We haven't actually confirmed any of them yet, so it'd be very unprofessional of me to announce something which isn't actually maybe going to happen.
Announcing it.
Oh no! Oh.
Are you in the slime? I saw someone just go in.
Sounds like Joe's gone.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Game.
Do you have a philosophy on paid DLC? I know that you launched out of the box with a couple of little DLC packs, which I bought immediately.
Thank you very much.
Are you? I mean, how much? Like, what do you have a philosophy towards like how much you want to monetize the game with the paid cosmetics? Like, where's the sweet spot with something like that?
I think currently like having a couple packs in there for people who want some really cool costumes instantly is something we'll continue to do, but it's very important for us to not overload the store with stuff, because like the game is a huge success, and for us to just then pile more paid stuff into the game is silly. Like, it just isn't what people want from the game, and it's very apparent to users that we're not struggling right now as a studio, you know. So
right.
Like we'll definitely still see more, but we're going to keep the cadence fairly low on how many we add.
What's the mood like around the studio right now? Is everyone just euphoric, or are they like too exhausted to celebrate? Like, what's it like in the office right now?
Well, I mean, it's very quiet in the office because we're all sat at home.
Oh well, yeah, of course.
Right.
Good point.
Yeah, but I would say it's a mixed bag. Like, some people have really. Oh my god! I just saw some guy jump off of a hammer.
I saw
seen
that.
before.
That's crazy.
I didn't know you could do that. Oh my god!
Racking up the easy quals on slime climb these days.
Yeah, I'm getting good at it.
Twice. Yeah, sorry. Like, some people are very energized by it, and some people are more drained at this point in development. Like, it kind of goes either way. But I would say most people are pretty exhausted, but also very excited by what's going on right now. I think it's very kind of overstimulating. Like, you just wake up every day and there's like more stuff, and everything is so much more visible, and all your mistakes are like very, very clear, and there are hundreds of thousands of people playing. It's say quite intense time, I would say, Oliver.
How does it?
Yeah, and usually at like launch, you all kind of get to sort of celebrate it together in the same place, and we haven't really been able to do that, obviously, at the moment. So it's quite unusual.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Launch.
How does it feel to see the numbers coming in from how many Steam downloads and how many? What is it? 7 million downloads on PlayStation? Something nuts like that, and a similar amount over on Steam. How does it feel to go from nothing in 2018 to suddenly having millions upon millions of downloads of your game?
Yeah, you guys were nothing in 2018.
Wow, Gary.
You were nothing.
It's a very overwhelming, I would say. Like, I think for us, or at least personally for me, it was when we found out that the game had like made its revenue back, its dev budget back, was a huge relief, because there's just so much pressure. Like, all of this money that's being spent on your idea, and all of this money that's being spent on marketing and shows and press, and it's just, it builds. The pressure really builds, and you don't really realize it until someone tells you that it was all worth it in the end. And then suddenly it's just like, oh my god.
And it's also it's award season coming up as well, and Gary and I firmly believe that Fall Guys is in contention for Game of the Year.
It's not in contention for my Game of the Year. It is Game of the Year.
It's Game of the Year, but we think as far as nominees and stuff go, you're going to be seeing a lot of them pouring in for Game of the Year for Fall Guys. How do you feel about that, knowing that you have awards coming? Like, it's not even at this point.
If you don't have a tux, get one.
Yeah, absolutely. Or at least a virtual
I'm telling you right now, you're gonna be in that conversation big time, and you're gonna win a ton of awards. You are. There's no question.
How do you feel about that?
We can't be. This game is a joke. It's just stupid.
But that's the best part of it, though.
We talked about this a lot. There's some games come along right when they're needed. Like Animal Crossing was a game that came along right when we needed it, right? Because the world sucks. By the way, I'm just about to drop off a golden egg. That's another one in there. We're killing it right now. An Animal Crossing offered a distraction from the shit that was going on in the real world. This is another game that's doing that right now. It's just fun for fun's sake. I've said it before. Go on Twitch, go on streams, and tell me, when was the last time you saw that many people having that much fun? You guys really have created something magical here, and you should be applauded for it.
Oh, I don't know what to say. I mean, yeah, it's just... The idea of any awards is so mental. Yeah, I don't know. Oliver, I don't know what to say.
I want to hear the Oliver acceptance speech where he just trolls everybody.
Just your best spicy tweet.
I don't know. It all does feel super, super weird. Like every day I think this is it with peaks. This is the best thing that's going to happen, and then something else the next day just happens, and you're like, wow, okay, well, this is even bigger. And it continuously feels like that. Like, even the way Jeff just seemed so hyped up on the stream yesterday, it was still like really amazing. Was that like Fall Guys was one of the main sort of points of the opening night live, and that sort of just blew us away.
Hey, is this the first time that Hexagon's popped for us? I think it is.
Yep.
I'm so jealous.
Who's in? Joe's not, right?
I'm out.
Oh, it's just me and Kate? Okay, well, I'm not going to make... I'm down. I'm dead. I'm not. I've only ever won 1 crown on this game.
Well, then this is a good time to ask Oliver.
No! Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
This is a good time to ask Joe and Oliver, as you're
Yeah.
saying things are getting bigger and bigger, about the charity thing that's been going on Twitter for the last little while. This battle of brands or streamers or whoever has the most money going towards, special effects? Can you tell us a bit about what's going on there?
So we had all these like brands doing their own versions of Fall Guys, and it would have been like really easy for us just to sort of take all this money and put all these brands in. But that's something we didn't really want to do. We wanted to try and turn it into something more positive. And so we thought, yeah, why don't we partner with a charity and kind of whoever bids the highest amount of money gets their skin in the game. And we never really expected it to go just as crazy as it has done. It's just got to
all on you.
$500,000,000.
I'm out.
Okay, we're all out then. I'm going out. God damn it.
So
How high do you think that's going to go?
I have no idea. It's already way past what we thought it would get to.
you said this morning it reached, what, 500,000?
Yeah, with Ninja and Aim Lab.
That's amazing. And so how much longer is that going for?
It's till Monday, so we're in the last few days now.
And you're committed you will build whatever skin the highest bidder demands. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming within reason. If they
Within
put a
reason,
giant
yeah.
dick on the front, maybe
Yeah,
not.
well, like a
but
giant scrotum or something.
that
We didn't have
could
a
sell really
call.
well in the store. You need more content for the store, so maybe just put a giant scrot on the front.
I mean, you could do it. The top part could be the cock, and the bottom half could be the balls.
people would buy that.
I mean, it would be the #1 selling skin in the game. There's no question.
I think we lost them.
Yeah.
This is when they both tuned out and they're like, "Why did we do this?"
Yeah.
And
No,
can you tell us about the charity that's the money is going towards?
Yes, it's a charity we've worked with before. They're really, really awesome. They help out people with disabilities to play video games by like helping them with like hardware that they need and stuff like that.
And they're based in the UK as well.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And I guess if people want to check that out on their own and potentially donate on their own, not maybe matching Ninja for donations of $500,000, they can find special effects online.
I love it. All right, back to god. Okay, Dizzy. I think this is probably the. What do you think is the most forgiving, the easiest? Like, you should be embarrassed if you didn't qualify out of this first round in the game.
I feel like DoorDash.
Really? I think
Yeah.
for me, Dizzy Heights is like the most like deterministic of the gauntlets. Like, if you just execute a plan, there isn't really that much that can go wrong.
Although there are some great clips of people getting fucked at the finish line.
Yeah, that's true. That finish line is probably the worst bit.
Mm.
That's something we deliberately kind of do as well. That there should always be something right at the finish line that can screw you over.
Right.
Because it just makes it so much more fun to know that it could all go wrong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
fun.
not only for the people who were there and get to experience that moment on stream or whatever, but for like the people at the back who have like ended up in the bottom section of the spinning discs. Like, there's still this feeling of like, if everybody just gets absolutely nutted by one of those like balls, which is what's happening to me at the moment. There we go. Oh yeah. Like, there's still a chance. There's still a shot. And that's really important, I think.
I'm looking for you just now. Oh, did
I'm
we all qualify?
through.
Yeah, fruit.
Okay, good.
Easy qual.
Easy qual. Is there any plans to bring this to Mac by any chance?
Ooh, that's a
good
question we don't get very often.
On
I don't
Steam,
think
a lot of
anyone's
games are on Mac as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really. No, if I'm honest. But if the demand is there, if we hear enough of it, then it'll definitely take off. You can start a petition.
One thing we get more than Mac is like super, super wide screens, but nobody on the dev team has a screen as wide as that. So it'll be interesting to try and figure that out.
And of course, we're already
Samsung,
seeing
if you're out there.
we're already seeing the dodgy mobile knockoffs, right? Everyone's cashing in on your success, or trying to at least.
Yeah, I've not seen a good one yet. I've just seen really, really terrible ones that are quite funny.
Yeah. I've seen
The most amazing thing I've seen are the Dreams ports of the game.
Oh, they're doing it in Dreams?
People have started making their own new levels in Dreams, and they're actually pretty good.
So
right, here we go.
That does
Josh.
provoke the question, and some people have asked it in the chat. Is there obviously it's like way down the road, but is there any potential for any kind of level designer or a potential for people to kind of cook up their own levels in this game down the road? What do you think?
I think of all the features we've talked about, that's probably the hardest one for us to do.
Right.
But there is like designing these obstacle courses is so fun, and I think there is just such a high demand for people who want to have a go because they've got all these ideas for like cool courses and stuff. Like it would be crazy for us not to at least look into it. Like it's hugely complex, and we don't have the team or the budget of studios like Bungie with their amazing Halo level editors and stuff back in the day. Like we just can't execute something like that right now, but down the line you never know. Oh, get off! What are you doing? Oh my god,
I almost got
so
you.
close.
How do you feel about this level?
Oh, I love this level.
I quite like it. Yeah.
I have
Sometimes
mixed feelings
it feels
about it.
really relaxing, and then other times it's just
Very hectic.
I love it.
yeah.
I'm always on the lookout for someone standing near a ledge that I can like ruin their day.
I've had some that have really, really dragged on because the last player just will not go.
Yeah.
And then it always ends up being like me.
Yeah, and then it's me, the one that goes. Yeah. It's like, fine, I'll do it for the good of the group, so everyone else can get on with it. I'll go. And I know that this is the case. I'm just double checking it. The sizes of the bespoke, the individual costumes that you work don't in any way affect the hitbox, right? The hitbox is the default beam. Is that correct?
If you wear the Scout, you run 10% faster.
Wait, what?
Don't.
No!
Don't.
Oh no!
Yes.
You discombobulated me so much with that trickery that I just fell right through the fucking roller.
None of the costumes make any difference.
Okay.
Oh.
You sold it though. For a second, I was like, wait, what?
I know, that's what I was like.
Imagine if we
almost
had
had
done
me.
that. Imagine if we had done that.
You almost
That's
had
what
me.
I was. When we were talking about hackers, I think the perfect hack for this game would be not the flying, not the whatever, but just go just a little bit faster. So you can't get caught out, but somehow you just run a tiny bit faster than everybody else.
I actually have a really interesting question from the chat. Laishin asks, and there's a broader question here about accessibility, which is a big conversation in games right now. Asking about things like colorblind mode. Is that something that's on your to-do list?
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the highest things actually is colorblind mode. Like, it comes under the moniker of making sure this game can be played by as many people as possible. We've worked really hard to make sure the game has simple controls so that it's a very easy game to pick up and play. And we wouldn't be being true to the moniker of making a game that's easy to pick up and play if we didn't improve our accessibility things, which are not great at the moment, admittedly.
Aside from a colorblind mode, because this is a very colorful game, what are some of the other things that you would need to do or want to do to improve accessibility?
I think a big one is you can't remap controls to the mouse, and that's a really big thing for people who aren't able to play a game with like a standard keyboard and mouse setup and need to remap things in order to be able to play.
Right.
The other one that I'd really like to do is an auto camera for people as well.
I think that would be fantastic, yeah.
Because some people, there's just dual analog sticks is a nightmare, and it was a huge debate actually. We were really worried about adding dual analog camera support.
Get out of here, Joe.
What? Oh no! Oh god!
Kate across the finish line, no problems.
Not yet.
Oh no! She's gonna wait and troll. Come on, Kate, don't be that person.
Oh my god!
Is this Joe coming up? Come on,
Yes.
don't. Yeah, he's across the line. Don't be that.
Oh.
Don't be
He
that
trolled
person.
me.
Don't let the hate flow through you. Do not. So I have a friend who plays this, and he's a big griefer on this level. And I asked him why, and he said, because I got griefed one time, and it turned into the dark side. Like, every time you grief someone, you create another griefer, and you perpetuate this cycle.
Yeah, I've seen some great memes around the like Anakin and Obi-Wan by the lava.
For sure.
It's basically the same as our Twinkie.
It's true. It's very true.
Is Oliver
have
getting
the high
race to the finish
ground.
line?
I'm griefing.
Get him.
I'm trying.
Get him. Throw him off the edge.
He's gonna get me.
Yeah, remapping keys is a good one. I'm left-handed. I mean, I wouldn't play this with the mouse and keyboard anyway, but I always, when I play like a shooter, I always remap my keys because I have my mouse on the left.
Gonna get him. Oh no.
By the way, do you have any, because I find this fascinating, Kate was playing with mouse and keyboard for a while, now she switched to a controller. Do you have any data on the PC side, like how many people play with mouse and keyboard versus a controller?
I don't think we have that
actually.
information. Yeah.
I didn't
It's
even think
possible,
of playing
yeah.
with a controller until people made fun of me for playing with mouse and keyboard.
Oh god, it's impossible mouse and keyboard.
I don't
I
know.
won my first crown on mouse and
does it.
keyboard.
She
Did you really?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
after you switch controller, you would never go back, right?
No, for sure. I mean, if I had to, I would. But
Who's all still in at this point?
I'm in.
I am. Gary, are you still in?
I can't remember. I'll tell you in a second. I am not. Still
Okay, so it's the three of us.
We're on the
I don't
good
think
team.
I don't think we've had a complete squad survive into fall ball yet.
Yeah, with the
Oh.
first one we did. I even called it
Oh,
out.
it was the first one. Okay. I always feel like there's someone.
Oh, it was
missing.
the huge one where there's like 20 people or something.
Yeah, it was like a 10v10.
Is there a max size on fall ball? Team size?
I think it's 10v10.
Okay, so pretty much like a full Premier League game.
Yeah.
Also,
pretty
thank
much.
you very much for patching out uneven
Oh.
teams.
Oh, that was my biggest. That was my big. Okay, how many times was I screaming? If you cannot split the teams evenly, don't split them, and they
Yeah.
fixed it.
Very happy
Yeah,
about
that's been that, and that's a classic example of. Oh no! Come on, guys, sort it out. That's a classic example of like, just make them not uneven, but it has really big knock-on effects for how often team games come up. You know, like
Right.
we're already seeing at the moment that team games are a lot rarer than they used to be, and I'm sure that will make some people very happy. But
that. Oh no!
we need to
Oh
understand.
my god!
God,
What
that's
is
horrendous.
I'm curious. What is going on with the algorithm that's deciding what you play next? Is it totally random, or is it taking into account how many times something's already spawned? So it's like, okay, that's already spawned a bunch of times. Let's not do it again. Like, how complicated is the algorithm that's deciding what you play next?
I've seen a lot of people that think there are different playlists for different days of the week, which I thought was quite
Okay.
entertaining. And people
so
are
it's not
sure
the
that that's how it works. I might leave it ambiguous for now. Maybe.
But you get that with like the lottery where there's like an octopus that picks numbers or something. Like whenever
Oh, yeah.
something's completely random, people just sort of see patterns in it.
And you can
Yeah.
tell how much you're missing me in this game.
Yeah, I know.
Struggling.
It's not good.
Come on, guys, get it
Okay,
in.
there's
Yes.
this one.
Oh, yeah, they just scored though.
Oh, football. Let's go, golden egg.
Oh,
No.
This is a football. That's an American football.
Sorry, I'm Canadian. I should really know better.
Somebody just asked something
Come on.
about adjusting the camera sensitivity on the PlayStation. That's something that,
Yes.
that you just patched, right?
So we added camera sensitivity, but we were mainly doing it for people who thought the camera was too fast.
Okay.
We didn't realize quite how many people wanted it to be even faster than it already was. Oh no, what's going on?
We're not doing so well, are we?
Lost.
Oh, there's one.
Bang.
Yeah, you're struggling. No, you're
Yeah,
not gonna pull
we're
this off.
over.
We could do this. We could do it. Come on.
No, we
Never know.
can't.
Could get,
No, we
Oliver,
can't.
Oliver, press the golden egg button.
Now we can't.
Yeah.
Too late.
Oh,
Damn it.
He was just reaching for it as well.
yeah.
All right, I've got time for one more game.
Okay, sounds
one
good.
last
Got a
round
jet.
and then we'll call it. We've had 2 great hours with you guys. Thank you so much.
It's been
It's
super
been
fun.
fun.
No, this has been really. I've learned a lot about the game from talking to you both.
And again, I do want to thank all of you at Fall Guys for your support on the show so far. 'Cause it
Oh yeah,
seems
you
like
guys have been terrific.
You're excited about it. We've been excited about it, and that's been really, really fun for us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super.
To not
exciting.
immediately
Really
get shut
cool.
down by the game.
Honestly, because we, the whole time, on Animal Talking, we're like, is Nintendo going to shut us down? We don't know. Then they started scheduling server maintenance during the 1 hour a week when the show's on the air. It's like, these guys just don't give a shit. And that's fine. Why should they? They don't need us. But to go from that to from this, where you've been really supportive, and here you are playing the game with us, we really appreciate that.
No, it's awesome. We'd love to see it. It's really cool.
I'm just coming back. I thought I was still in the
Oh yeah,
final.
why am I even watching this?
I
I have played a couple of games. I've started playing, thinking, why is the guy not doing what I want him to do? And it's because I'm spectating. All right, final round.
Let's do
Final
this.
round. Last chance to ask any questions for Joe and Oliver if you're anyone in the chat. Okay, please ask if they have any stats on yellow team losing games. Do you have any statistics to back up the notion that bashing yellow team on social media has turned into a self-fulfilling prophecy?
It's a myth. The yellow team wins just as many games as everybody else.
Okay, then speaking of yellow team, I know there's a theory out there that people who spawn into yellow team are primarily solo players, not in squads. Can you confirm or deny?
So that was true, but we fixed it.
Interesting. Okay. Ultra wide support. I'm just going to throw these at you.
Nobody on has an ultra wide setup, so
if like Samsung are watching and want to send us all ultra wide monitors, we can fix this issue for everybody.
Yeah, I admire the hustle. That's a smart answer.
Are you going to have official Fall Guys merchandise anytime soon?
Yes. Lots
When?
of
When?
when, but we're having lots of conversations.
That's because
I've seen your.
it is a when, not an if. Come on now.
I've seen your totally legit, not at all a knockoff T-shirt.
Oh yeah, I can't talk about that officially.
Also, will season. Speaking of things to purchase, will season 2 pass cost money?
Hell no.
Nice.
I like that.
Are you gonna, so you're gonna leave
have a
in-game paid purchases as just the DLC?
Yeah, absolutely. No paid season pass on Fall Guys anytime soon.
Nice.
Another question from the chat. What football team do you both support?
Football, blue.
Football.
My brother supports Liverpool, and I've been indoctrinated into the cult of Jurgen Klopp, so I'm a Liverpool fan.
It is a cult for sure. Very charismatic man.
He's great. I love him.
This is a big one. Split screen or couch co-op. Is that anything that is appropriate for this game? Is that on your mind?
I can candidly say that the game barely runs as it is, let alone in split screen. It's a miracle that we made this thing work. So the split screen is super complicated, and there's a reason that you only see massive games with huge budgets doing split screen, and there's a reason that it took Fortnite 2 years after launch to add it.
Sure.
It's hugely complex, and it's a ton of work. So I wouldn't expect it anytime soon, but we definitely understand that people want it because Fall Guys is such a fun game to play with other people. So maybe one day.
Tiago Ferrari asks, can you please ask what's their opinion about increasing the squad size? Is there any design desire to create bigger squads, or is 4 the right number?
Well, you've got to worry about like people griefing if there was like squads of like 10 people or something.
Yeah,
could ruin it for everyone else.
Yeah, we went with 4 because it's like the standard number that people know and that people come to expect. But I think there's probably room to increase it slightly. But Oliver's right that we have to be very careful not to go too far because people will start ruining games for everybody else.
Here's a good question from Toby Blue. I didn't think about this. Will there be any kind of upgrade for PlayStation 5?
Sounds like maybe you haven't thought of it either.
Sure.
Oh shit! There's a PlayStation 5.
I mean, is there? Like, does anyone know anything about it?
It's up for pre-order with no price.
I signed up for the email yesterday that said, click here and maybe we'll send you an email when you can maybe order one, possibly, but we don't know.
But we're not going to tell you how much it costs.
Yeah, no, when it's coming out or what it costs or what it does or what it even is, but you can maybe get it.
Nice.
Grape, melon, cherry.
Oh, I'm not paying attention. Tomato, grape, cantaloupe.
I'm already out.
Shit.
Great.
I don't know where I'm going. I'm following the crowd because I'm not paying attention.
Here's
When you say it barely runs as it is, Joe, I mean, obviously on PC, it's a wide range of system specs. Is it maxing out the base PlayStation 4, the game, in terms of the performance?
Yeah, getting it running on PlayStation 4 was really hard. That was one of the biggest challenges of development, really. Cherry, apple, orange.
God,
shit.
I'm just going to go with
Gary.
Joe. I'm going to go with Joe goes. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, this is safe.
Yeah, one of my favorite clips that you see on the weekly recaps is when one guy is on a tile, everyone's on the other tile. He's like, wait, do I have this wrong? Jumps over to the other tile, and they all had it wrong. And he had it right. I love that. There's some interesting social engineering going on there, I think.
Is there any chance of playing the game kind of in an offline way if people just wanted to run through and do like practice rounds of a specific level?
So I think the whole game is architected to run online, and I think people having training, I think, goes against the spirit of the game a little bit. I think you need to play and you need to wait for those levels to come up, and you need to train with other people around. Like Fall Guys is about the chaos. It's about the madness that other people bring. So like if you want to get good at levels, you just got to play the game and get good like everybody else. So no plans for training mode anytime soon.
And again, like you could run that course all day, but it's never going to teach you how to deal with the 50 other players that are trying to mess with you, right?
Exactly. Rollout is easy, but it's the other people you've got to worry about.
It's Joe you have to worry about.
Whether or not you would even want to or why, but like, could you ever imagine bots in this game?
We did used to have them for like the events and stuff when we first were showing it, but they were really dumb, weren't they?
Eliminated someone. Oh,
Joe,
okay.
what's
if you could wait,
I
what's
messed
going
myself
on over
up.
there?
Wait, did you go down
That's
too?
karma. No, I
No,
survived.
he's up here with me.
Just me.
Oh, did Kate get knocked?
Yeah, I was trying to take Joe out, and then I
You see, I'm telling
karma'd
you,
myself.
don't go down the dark path, because forever will it dominate your destiny.
Exactly.
Joe, if you could wave a
Grabbing
magic
links.
wand right now in terms of anything you could implement into the game, what would it be?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, I'm good at my job.
There is something that we're working on that is so cool that hopefully will come soon. That like I saw some stuff of today in our Slack group. If I could have it in the game tomorrow, like my god, that is the thing I would put in the game. It's going to be.
Can you hint at it a little
Give
bit?
us a crumb, a breadcrumb.
As a treat.
There's something in it that's been named Big Yeetus by the team.
Oh, I saw that.
Big Yeetus?
Big
Yeah.
Yeetus, yeah.
It
Oliver
has
knows
to
what I'm talking
say
about.
That name.
Now that is very
It's so
compelling
good.
information.
It is very cool.
How busy is your Slack channel at the moment?
Oh, God,
Too
insane.
many channels in there. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
How many? I'm probably in what, like 50 Slack groups or something.
There are
Just
more
for this
Slack
game?
groups than there are people.
It's true. Actually.
God.
Oh god. This is one of those rounds that's like.
It's going to drag.
It's only the
three-
good people
three
left.
more to go, and it's going to drag on. Yeah.
Oh god, no!
Oh,
Are you
That
still
was-
up?
I didn't
Joe just tried to get you off the map.
realize it was you, Gary.
He's like way across the map from me right now.
Oh, maybe I'm spectating it.
Qualified.
The exact same tomato then.
Yes.
Let's finish on a crown.
Oh, that was so good. Just threw a ninja into the slime.
No, you're the tomato with green arms, right? Gary?
Yes, I am.
Then he definitely did
Oh,
just
okay. All right.
try to
Yeah,
throw
I
you
that's
off
right.
the
think that
map.
happened, and then we separated it out quickly. But yeah.
Yeah. Don't take it personally.
Are there any plans for other logic levels like Perfect Match?
Yeah, I would like to do some, but it's fairly clear that Perfect Match is maybe not everybody's favorite level right now. So we're not in a mad rush to add more of them, but we have some great ideas for other logic themed levels. I think we should improve Perfect Match first, but I love it.
What do you need to do to improve Perfect Match?
I think the pacing of it is slightly off. I think it just needs slightly less waiting around time and more. Oh no! Just want to save. Come on! Oh, it's off the crossbar. Come on, there we go. I think it just needs to be more of those exciting moments where loads of people get eliminated and slightly less waiting around staring at the timers.
It's funny, talking about old, talking about It's a Knockout, a game show that I remember as a kid, but everyone else is probably too young to remember. There was another one, an old kids game show called Runaround, that Perfect Match reminds me of. And it was a bunch of kids, like, selecting what they thought was the right answer on a tile. And then they had the option, and then they had the option to kind of change their mind. Yeah, go YouTube it. You'll find it. It's like an old BBC show, like from the 1980s.
One of the original ideas for Perfect Match was that we'd be showing like long multiplication or something, and then you'd all have to go and stand on the
Oh
number.
no!
Quadratic equations.
And then everyone reminded me that maths is not fun, and that would be a terrible idea.
It would be very bad.
All right, come on, guys, focus now. Let's get a win.
Oh god, they just. Oh no!
That's not had the desired
I'm
effect.
struggling now. I'm not playing well. That's
I
the
just
problem.
can't make any.
When your
can't make
star
any
player's having an
we
off
need-
day, you're going to struggle. 2-0.
Shit. We need Jurgen on board.
We do. We need some Klopp. We need a Klopp halftime pep talk. Oh no!
Oh,
No!
no.
Kloppage time.
It's okay. You've got a minute left.
Mini Fergie time as well.
Oh, fucking bastard. Yeah, we need all sorts of time here.
I'm doing what I can. 50 seconds is a long time in this game.
Yep. Oh god.
We're struggling, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's just they're everywhere. No, come on, French fry.
Ah! I feel like Blue's just good. Like they've got a good organization here.
Yeah.
This is squeaky bum time.
Yeah, it's squeaky bum. Well, it's not because we're just losing. This is just sad bum time.
Oh, get off! I should take grabbing out of the game.
I love hearing the devs get upset at their own game.
Yeah, and start cursing their own game.
Yeah.
Like, who's responsible for this?
What idiot!
Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Oh, it seems so sad.
It's not the way I
to
wanted to end it.
loss.
Oh, and we just had one going in as well. Why do
so
pineapples turn white on team games? That's a good question.
Oh, that's a bug. That's a bug.
Oh, it's a bug? Okay.
Yeah, it's not deliberate.
Seems so sad to end on a loss.
I know.
Didn't even make it to the
I know.
final round.
Adam
I gotta
Nicholson,
get
who works on the back end of the show, I'll give the last question to him. What about Fall Guys in go-karts or any sorts of vehicles?
It's a separate game, actually. That's Fall Guys.
I mean, Fall Guys Kart Racer coming soon, right?
Full car.
Crazier things have happened.
I need to get out of this.
I have one more question. Any plans to expand the music in the game? Because the music is terrific.
The music's
but do you have
fantastic.
any additional songs coming?
Oh, can you imagine what Fall Guys would sound like with medieval instruments?
Is that a little hint
Wow.
for season 2?
We may not. Are you saying we may not have to imagine much longer?
I'm just asking if you guys can imagine it. I'm not
I
saying.
absolutely can, and I would very much like to see that on
Yeah,
season 2.
me too. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
That was fantastic. Well, Oliver and Joe, thank you so much.
For being
playing
very
with us.
generous with your
Oh
time
my
as
god,
well.
you were fantastic guests, and actually, I learned a ton about this game that we have come to love so much. Thank you. You've been great sports and really fun to play with, and just fascinating. Just like so much great information. It's been really enjoyed playing and talking with you. Thank you both.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. I mean, like, I could truthfully say that we've like only scratched the surface on the amount of like dev stories that we have and like little
sure.
things. Like,
Then
we could
you
do
are
this
welcome
every
to
week.
come back. You are welcome to come
love
back
to.
anytime.
Awesome.
We'll have you. We'll definitely have you. Well, look, come back for season 2. We'll play some season 2 and play some medieval stuff.
Oh, let's do it.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, it's in the books. It's going to happen.
Nice one.
Oliver, Joe. So Twitch Rivals is happening right now, right? That's.
Yeah,
I think
that's where I'm going now.
Yeah.
Okay. So go enjoy Twitch Rivals. Try to find some time. I don't know how you're going to do it, but try to find some time to exercise some self-care and relax and just enjoy this moment. You've created this incredible game. I know you're super busy, like trying to catch up with the success that you're having, but have fun. Like enjoy this moment. They're few and far between.
Good
Yeah,
advice.
thanks very much. We will.
Cheers.
We will.
Thank you
Thank you,
both.
Joe.
Thank you both.
Oliver.
Joe, Oliver, let's get some love in the chat for Joe and Oliver, the creators of Game of the Year in my book. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Oh, thanks very much, guys.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.
All right, so Joe and
That was amazing.
that was great, right? How much fun was that?
It was terrific.
I loved it. That was really fun. I've just that to me, and don't get me wrong, Lupo last night was great as well. But like that's what Talk Guys is all about. Just like a really good conversation. Learned a lot about the game. We had fun playing. You got a crown.
I did. You got one too?
Did I?
And Joe got
no.
one?
You and Joe got one. I didn't get one this session.
Did you not? I thought
No,
you did.
I came close a couple of times.
We didn't get one for Oliver. We didn't get Oliver's first crown.
I feel like we got to keep having him back until
I know, until we get him
until
his
he
first
gets
crown.
one.
He probably doesn't have time to play apart from coming on a talk show to talk about his job.
Kate did get a crown. Joe got a crown. Me and Oliver did not. That's okay. I got mine last night. Kate got hers today.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Joe stole my tail at the last second.
Oh, it was beautiful. I loved seeing
yeah,
that. That was wonderful.
You got your. The only thing that would have made that better is if had you been the one to do it. But I feel like just you watching me suffer was good enough for you, right?
It was wonderful. I enjoyed every single moment of that.
That was really fun. Kate, so you're going to continue streaming?
I am. I'm only 2 hours into my day, so I'm going to keep going.
You're going to play some more Fall Guys?
I'm going to play some more Fall Guys.
All right. Have fun. I hope to play with you again soon. Oh, awesome. And don't forget, I think we can do the announcement. You want to talk about next week's guests?
I do. Next week on the show, this next show is next Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have Felicia Day and Amy Okuda. We did
That's
talk
right.
about this last night.
Yep.
They've been playing Fall Guys quite a bit together, and we're going to have a 4-stack and try to get all of us some crowns.
I'm trying to get this image here. Right, there we go. Yes, Felicia Day from the Guild, of course, one of the coolest geeky personalities out there, and Amy Okuda, her former Guild castmate, both former guests on Animal Talking, of course, friends of our other show, and they have been having a lot of fun playing. They've warned me that they're not very good. They don't have a crown yet, but we'll fix that for them.
We're going to get them their crowns.
We will get them a crown.
For sure.
We will get them a crown for sure. So next Friday, 7:00 Pacific, we'll be back with a new Talk Guys episode. Felicia and Amy will be joining me and Kate. And what a great way to end the week, though. I know you're going to continue streaming, but I'm really pleased with how that show went. There's so much fun playing with Joe and Oliver.
Absolutely. And if anyone from either perspective, either chat is missing shows or you want to watch again, they will be up on both of our YouTube channels, Whitta and Kate Stark, respectively, or right here on Twitch. So you can watch whenever.
I think I'm going to raid my channel into yours.
That sounds great.
Yeah, I'm going to run my end credits now, and in about 30 seconds, you'll be on the receiving end of a little raid.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much.
All
I'm going to
right.
run my credits too.
See you, Kate. Bye.
Bye, Gary.
All right, it's end credits time.